Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Football is King podcast. We are now going to continue to say these at the beginning because apparently it's working. Please remember, if you like the podcast, like, share, subscribe, all the buttons. Give us 5-star reviews on Spotify, all of those things. And that's it. We got some good news and some bad news to start the podcast today that are unfootball related. Good news, we posted something on the internet and it got over 1,400 views last week, which is, we appreciate all of the people out there. Expect more YouTube shorts in the future. I've got some things actually in today's script that are specifically designed to make YouTube shorts for us. So yeah, we got that going on. Also, I just had to flex on everyone today with my intramural champion of a 70,000 student university.
That was only 10 years ago.
It was only 10 years ago. Two-time intramural champion at Texas A&M.
Two-time?
Yeah, soccer, and won the punt, penalty kick, throw-in competition. So,
dang.
What? What'd you say?
That's a good resume.
I mean, yeah, there we go. I'm a freaking D1 athlete, in case people don't know.
Only D1 athlete on the pod.
That is true. I am not a D1 men's athlete, but I am a D1 women's athlete. All right. Hey, if you would like to know more about that.
Before it was cool.
If you would like to know more about that, like and subscribe. Send me a text tweet at us at, tweet. What's it called? Post at us on X. At FIK podcast on Twitter /X, whatever it's called now. And I'll post you back. It's terrible. Come on, Elon. What are we doing? I will post you back about how I was a men and women's athlete at
Hey, did y'all see the report that him and Mark are gonna fight at the Roman Coliseum?
Oh, dude, I'm about it.
I read today that that old Elon wimped out.
Oh,
that's not my Elon.
Hey, if they were gonna fight, the tickets would go more for a Messi match. That's for sure.
Hey, I was
average ticket of $1,200.
I was hoping the Roman Coliseum was real, and then the winner had to fight a lion to get out, and we'll see who wins.
Fight to the death between Elon and Zuck.
Yeah, well, it's a double fight to the death because the winner then gets to fight the lions. So you got to get the lion to get out of there. I guess I'm disappointed.
You know what? We're gonna mark that down too, because who knows? Maybe talking about Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg fighting might, maybe.
Do I get a knife if I fight the lion? I feel like if I have a knife, I can beat the lion.
No, you're dead. All right, Jonathan's dead. Fantastic.
The only way you're beating the lion is if you jack it off with a fistful of sticker burrs. That is the only way.
All right, there it is. There's the first. There's the first moment of the thing. No, the only way that anyone's killing a lion if it's one of those zoo lions that's just like freaking sedated out of its mind.
No, dude, I think if I have a big knife, I didn't say it, a big knife, I think I could take a lion.
Yeah, you wish.
You have to be smart. You just, kind of jab a little bit.
It's full of sticker burrs. That's the only way.
Hey, yeah, you get a little sticker in the paw, and you have a mouse on. You make sure there's no mice around, and then you're good. You got that lion. It is gonna be great.
Yep.
All right. Time for the bad news, unfortunately. You will notice that this podcast did not start with a beautiful rendition of El Rey by Vicente Fernandez. And that's because they copyright striked us. I wouldn't have thought that our tiny little podcast would have ever, with 20 subscribers, would have got on Vicente's radar. But apparently getting 1,400 views makes it to where you get copyright strikes.
Where the line was drawn.
Yeah, so there you go. So we will be on the lookout for a new theme song or intro song that is not copyright striked on YouTube. So that's
por favor, escúchame la familia Fernandez, por favor.
Do you think we can just switch to the George Strait version of El Rey?
No, George Strait will hunt us down.
La
My man,
familia de Fernández, por favor, es muy bueno por 4 hueritos. Usar tu música por grande profitos, por favor. Thank you.
Yeah, I went to George Strait's quote unquote last concert in Las Vegas, and he has been touring or doing his thing in Las Vegas for like 5 years since then. So my man George Strait, he likes the money and he will come after us. All right. There we go. There's about 5 minutes on BS conjecture. Always a great way to start the podcast here on the Football is King podcast. But it's time to talk about our topics for today. Before we get into the AFC North and NFC North that we will be talking about today, two of possibly the most exciting divisions in football. I've got some hypothetical questions for the boys.
Let's go.
Which is always good. They have not heard these either, so I'm excited. All right. We like to talk all kinds of sports here on the Football is King podcast, but I will try to make it into a football analogy because we know our listeners only care about football.
That's all we care about.
If you were a world-class athlete, I want to know what you would do. Okay. Would you stay at a team and become the all-time record setter for that team, or would you leave to go win a meaningless, quote unquote, meaningless title? So my best example of this, because this is coming from soccer, which I follow.
Lionel Messi.
No, it's Harry Kane. Would you, let's say you are like, let's pretend Drew Brees never won a Super Bowl.
I'm leaving for the Super Bowl.
However, Drew Brees at his time was on pace, right? And he did eventually do this. But let's say before Drew Brees has set the all-time record for passing yards, let's pretend he had not won a Super Bowl. Would you stay with the Saints and become like the all-time best Saint ever and set the NFL record for passing yards? Or would you go like, I don't know, play for the Eagles and be guaranteed a Super Bowl?
Oh, I'm taking the Super Bowl every day of the week.
Well,
because the Super Bowl, Matthew Stafford solidified his
that's
name
true.
in the
Sorry.
Hall of Fame.
The Super Bowl's too big. Sorry. Hold on.
Yeah, the Super Bowl's a little different.
All right. Hold on. Let me change it. So
if you're saying go to the XFL and win whatever the XFL is.
Transition to college football. So let's pretend you are, I don't know, a quarterback at a school
Jalen Hurts
never wins conference championships. Let's say you're at the University of Texas and your name is Arch Manning and you're going to be there for, I don't know, let's pretend Arch Manning's not very good and he's going to be there for 4 years and he's going to set all of the UT records. He's going to beat every single UT passing record, but he's never going to win a Big 12 or SEC title. However, his senior year, he gets an offer to go to Alabama, and he's basically going to be guaranteed to win the SEC. Do you switch to go win the SEC, or do you stay to become the UT all-time leading record?
I'm staying. Here's why. Think about Kevin Durant.
I'm staying.
What fan base cares about Kevin Durant? None of them. Most of them hate him.
See, basketball was my prime example that you definitely stay. But now, I was thinking about Damian Lillard when I came about this. Damian Lillard is now going to go chase a ring. And so, like, I think he stayed in Portland long enough that the people of Portland will always love him.
It's so situational. If I was Dame, I would leave. That's my only issue.
Yeah. But, like, take that hypothetical. We'll use Arch Manning. If I'm Arch Manning and I've given 3 years of service to that crappy university, I'm leaving. I'm out. Let me win something. I want to win.
I think football's the hardest example because it's so hard to win the big prize. But like basketball, I think it's super easy, especially because we're all Spurs here on the podcast. We love our players that stay and play for the Spurs for forever.
In the moment, I also think in the moment, like Kawhi, for instance.
Yeah.
Kawhi, if he was a Spur for the rest of his career, he could go to San Antonio anytime he wanted. would never have to spend $1 anywhere.
Nope.
Yeah.
But look back 6 years ago, the city of San Antonio loved him.
Yeah.
Now
Now everyone hates him.
he can't go to San Antonio.
Same thing with LeBron in Cleveland.
Yeah. Well, he
LeBron-
went back.
Although I
He
think
went
'cause he
back
went
and
back-
won a championship.
Yeah, because he went back to the title, I think it's different.
Yeah, I know,
Oh.
but like we all remember, like people were literally
Yeah.
burning his jersey in the streets.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, Kevin Durant's the perfect example for professional basketball. He gets drafted by Oklahoma City. He does he does good for him, and then he goes, "Oh, I'm out because I'm going to go join a team that can definitely win a championship without me, and I'm going to join them to win one." And Oklahoma City, most true basketball fans think he took the poontang way out because
Also,
they don't need you.
when he goes into the Hall of Fame, what team did he play for?
He played for a bunch of crappy ones and screwed them all over.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no he has no home.
Yeah, just think most Hall of Fame speeches, they might have two teams that I mean, LeBron will have three, but most players have two teams that are like their iconic teams or whatever.
Think about all the players that were inducted in the Hall of Fame this past week.
Yep.
Tony Parker, the Hornets year doesn't count.
Yeah.
Dirk Nowitzki,
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade.
Yep.
I mean, it's like all the guys played on one team.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm on team. I honestly would stay because you could still win. So this all comes from a quick, short soccer aside. This all comes from the fact that Harry Kane, who has played for one team his entire career, is also not only he's already passed and set the Tottenham Hotspur goals record, but he's really close to setting the Premier League goals record of all time. He's about to be the best in the league that has ever been seen. And he left to go to Bayern Munich, who are just guaranteed to win it's called a plastic trophy because they win every year. I think they've won 11. They've won 11 consecutive titles. So what's the point?
Soccer's so weird too because the Premier League obviously has the most parity, it seems like, at the top.
Yeah.
But so these guys go to Real Madrid, Barcelona, which those two teams are going to win every year, it seems like.
One of the two of them, but they will alternate pretty frequently. But yes,
the guys that play in Italy, it's what?
Yeah. So the other leagues, it's fun because
they're just going to the Champions League.
The other two league, there's 2 or 3 teams that just rotate all the time, but no one else stands a chance. While in the Premier League, right now, Man City has dominated the past 10 years. But in that time, we've had Leicester City has won, Chelsea has won, Liverpool has won. We've had more champions.
If you're in soccer, you have to want to play in the Premier League, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't get why Harry Kane left. I honestly, I was shocked that he left.
But
what was crazy
was the most recent team to maybe give him a challenge.
Yeah, the other thing that's crazy about soccer, though, is there's more than one trophy available for the team each season. And Harry Kane has literally won 0 trophies. He hasn't even won one of the smaller competitions. So that's what's crazy.
Cup.
Yeah. So that's that. So I just wanted to see what people's opinions are. I knew that we would probably be on team loyalty just based off of our previous sports opinions with the Spurs and things like that. But I was just curious. Hey, for our people listening, comment below. What would you like to do? Would you stay on a team to set an all-time record? Or would you leave to go to a team that you're basically guaranteed to win a trophy? I would like to know your opinions. You can either comment below or tweet at us X at us at FIK Podcast on X.
I would be I would be willing to say 75% of people would say they would leave for a guaranteed championship because the world is so much, what have you done for me lately?
I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
In the soccer world, everyone wanted him to leave to win a trophy. It was crazy to me. I was like, what are y'all talking about? I'm definitely staying to be the all-time Premier League goal record. Over winning a crappy trophy, I would rather be like, hey, I'm the best player that ever played in this league ever.
Yeah. I don't even think it's that hard of a question. I just look at players like Kevin Durant. You're like, who did he play for?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And basketball, I feel like the past 5 years has just been
Oh, it's been crazy. The
it's
players
been insane. Like owners and GMs have zero power anymore.
Yeah,
And it's
the
just
players
whatever
have
a player wants, they get what they want.
You know what the crazy thing about Kevin Durant is, and I don't know the stat on this. I'm gonna venture to say he'll be the first ever, but Kevin Durant, in my opinion, will be the first ever Hall of Fame basketball player to not have a jersey retired by any team.
That's not true.
Kyrie will be there. Kevin Durant. Not that I think Kyrie or James Harden should be Hall of Famers, but no franchise likes them.
No.
Technically, Kevin Durant does have a basketball jersey retired. It's in the Moody Center right now.
Oh well, that don't count.
He didn't even
But-
play.
Kyrie doesn't. Kyrie doesn't. Kyrie legitimately doesn't.
I think
He was
also
injured. He was
I think
injured
the-
for 80% of his college career.
I
He
think
didn't
the
even play
Warriors
for
would
the team.
retire Durant's jersey because no one
See,
wants
but that
number
would.
35.
But I think
No,
that
they
would
shouldn't.
be taking the cheap way out. You should
Yeah.
not retire his jersey.
No one wants number 35, so it's a cheap, easy one to do. Like,
That's true. That's
if
true.
it was a number like that people wanted, then yeah, I'd be like, yeah, but like no one wants to wear number 35.
No.
I think that Kevin Durant will go in to the Hall of Fame as one
Oh,
of the
no.
softest Hall of Famers of all time.
Oh yeah,
Got the
He-
absolutely.
he is
fake
a Hall of
Twitter
Fame-
accounts.
He is a Hall of Fame player, I think, but also
No, KD is definitely a Hall of Fame basketball
Yeah.
player.
But
Definitely
it
a
is
Hall
the
of Fame.
weirdest. It is the weirdest career. Like
For
you
sure.
don't look back and have like iconic moments that KD was a part of.
No,
You know,
yeah, there isn't. There isn't.
All right. Hey, quick basketball
fine.
side question, because I know that y'all are much bigger into basketball than me. Can the Golden State Warriors win an NBA championship if on offense they just came down the court and made a circle around Steph Curry and linked arms and let him shoot a 3-pointer for free every time?
In 2018, that might have been possible.
Just like let's say what does he shoot on an uncontested 3-pointer like
He did-
48%?
Oh,
Like
Oh, I'm giving him
Uncontested.
85%.
It would be an
I'm giving him
uncontested.
85%.
So he's probably over
85%.
50%.
like
I'd
okay.
give him close to 60. I'd be like
I bet he's
58.
over.
Sure. Okay, so let's
60%.
pretend 60% to make it easy at math.
Oh, I'm giving him better
You-
than 60.
But just 60% is easy for math purposes. You walk down the court and you go to the same spot every time. And you just have Draymond and your center and whatever just lock arms in a perfect circle around
Yeah.
him and let him rise up
Yeah.
and shoot. And then you don't worry about the rebound. As soon as he shoots, everyone just runs back on defense and plays defense.
If you
Like,
play
do
it
you
like
win?
that, I think so, Austin. And if you play it like that, where you don't worry about rebounds, and I wouldn't even worry about defense. Let them score. Just
No.
guard
You got to play
perimeter.
some defense.
No, and he will break Wilt Chamberlain's scoring record 10 times in a season.
I'm just saying, is Steve Kerr
That would be
actually a
interesting,
good
though.
coach? I want to
No,
see it
I
in a
don't- I don't
preseason
think-
basketball game. That's what I want to see. A
don't
preseason
think-
basketball game.
I'm biased towards Steve Kerr
No.
because I think
Steve Kerr is not a good coach.
no, I don't
Not
think
a
he
good
either. I think
If he
I
was a
think
good coach, he would do my strategy because I think it would win an NBA championship.
he got handed that situation.
Before
Yeah.
last season, which was not a good season for the Warriors. His worst season on open threes was 44%.
All
Yeah,
right.
that-
So,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
it technically won't be open. Like, he'll have his teammates around him. But, like,
Oh yeah, but from
he
the
gets,
defense,
he gets us. It'll be like pregame warmups. Like, and you could even have him practice that in pregame warmups.
But-
Just have everyone stand around
was
him,
there a
find a
video
spot, and just boom.
he made 50 open threes in a row or 50 threes in a row or something
Yeah,
like
that
that?
was fake.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, it wasn't, dude. You
No,
watch
there
him.
was one where he hit like 50 in a row, like just ding, ding, ding.
He's the purest shooter of all time. I'm just saying, hey, Steve Kerr,
He's the best shooter ever.
Steve Kerr, I know that this will make it to you because we will not be blocked by Vicente Fernandez this time. And when it gets to you, just think about it. I would love to see a basketball game of just Steph Curry just constantly shooting threes
him-
with his teammates
yeah.
around him. And
Let him
just
have
the
50
defense
shots a
trying to
game.
figure it out. The only
think
team
it was-
I think that could stop
Hey,
him.
It could happen.
The only team I think that could stop him are the Spurs because I think
they got
Wemby
Victor.
can block him.
Yep, they got Victor.
Well, if you can reach 9'8" without
Yeah.
jumping,
So there you go. All right. I got other hypotheticals. That was a 20-minute aside on hypotheticals number 1. Hypothetical number 2. This year in the offseason of the NFL, we have seen a lot of players holding out from their contracts. Nick Bosa, Chris Jones, Zach Martin, Jonathan Taylor, etc. Who do we think is right in these player holdouts? And I would like to put the context
Zach
on
Martin.
there. Hold on. I'm not talking about the individual players. Are the teams correct because the player has signed a contract and they have agreed to the terms? Or are the players correct because they are good and they deserve, like Chris Jones had a better season than Aaron Donald did last year? Does Chris Jones deserve to be paid more than Aaron Donald? So are the players correct or are the teams correct? Is what the opinions I
Well, we have a good case. We have a good case study in this. The NBA has allowed the players to get too powerful. As soon as they get any sort of disgruntled, it's like, oh, I demand a trade. And the problem is the owners can't do anything about it. In the NFL, they can't technically do anything about it, but they can just not pay them.
No, in the NFL, the owners have been good so far, in my opinion. They will just tell people, shut up, I'm not doing what you want.
Jim Irsay literally said
Jim Irsay, honestly, Jim
cares.
Irsay has gone about it the wrong way, but what Jim Irsay is doing, in my opinion, is correct. Jonathan Taylor on April 19th, there is a sound clip of Jonathan Taylor on April 19th of this year saying, I have signed a contract. I am going to fulfill that contract. And because a bunch of other running backs held out, he also signed a new agent who is a freaking moron. Has said, now I'm going to hold out and I want more. Jonathan Taylor was injured last year. All of last year. He's had one good season.
The only time I ever will take a player's side on this, because in my opinion, you sign a contract, you knew going into that contract that you were signing a binding agreement, and that's how the world works. You sign an agreement, you fulfill your agreement. If you're going into the last year of your contract and you have far outperformed.
Contract years are different. In the NFL, your last year of your contract is fine. But these players that have signed
3 years,
hey, I think there are some special circumstances. Nick Bosa should be the highest paid defensive end in football. 100%. Every year that someone surpasses him, the 49ers should, or another team should say, you deserve X. Aaron Donald.
Solution?
What?
This should happen in the NBA tomorrow, but it should happen in the NFL if this keeps happening. 1-year deals for everybody. There is no 4-year, 3-year deal. You get a 1-year deal.
No, that'll be terrible.
Or you do.
In the NFL, that'd be awful. In NBA, it works, but in NFL, it'd be awful.
That's what they want.
Do it the Bill Belichick route. Bill Belichick's contract states that if a coach becomes higher paid than him, he gets $1 million more than the next highest, than the highest paid.
Stop?
Yeah, but
what, the 5th or 6th highest paid quarterback right now? And he should be number 1.
But Mahomes is being taken care of. Like, you don't need to worry about that.
But that's the thing. All these guys are being taken care of. Let's be honest. You signed a contract that states what your worth is at that point in time. And yes, the way the world works as time goes on. But guess what? If you fulfill that contract, you're going to get broken off again on your next contract and be the highest paid player. And someone's going to pass you again.
I'm on the team side of this. I think the players are being ridiculous. There's no reason why Justin Herbert should be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL right now, who has 0 playoff wins.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't know. Or he's got also he had a 27-0 lead against the Jaguars last year and he lost.
Yeah.
At home? Was it in Los Angeles?
No, it was in Jacksonville.
Was it in Jacksonville? Whatever. Doesn't matter. If you're up 27-0, all you need to score is a single touchdown and you will win that game. But he didn't. Justin Herbert, though, is currently the highest paid player in the NFL history, and that makes no sense.
But I agree, but also Pat Mahomes, in credit to Pat Mahomes, he doesn't say a word about it. But he signed a 10-year deal. If he has any ounce of brain, he knows every year that TV money is going to go up, and they're going to be able to pay players.
But it will be renegotiated every year. every year he gets an added signing bonus they redo his contract every couple of years to help the salary cap and all these things. Like,
but the point is, the next year somebody else is going to get signed for more.
Yep.
Yeah,
because
that's
the money keeps going up.
I guarantee you, if the Chiefs do another deep playoff run or win another Super Bowl, Mahomes' contract will be redone and he'll make 60 plus a year.
No, but that's a testament to the team and the player.
Yeah, because they don't have to do it.
Yeah. But then, like, on the other hand, like Chris Jones, for example, had a great season last year. But Chris Jones needs to understand that the best player at his position is not named Chris Jones. His name is Aaron Donald. Like, it's just a fact. Now, Chris Jones is number 2, and it's very clear he's number 2, and he should be very highly paid, which the Chiefs offered him a deal that made him right underneath Aaron Donald. But Jones said no because he wants to be paid more, which just you need to understand that. Or all these running backs who want to be paid more than whoever, like, I'm sorry, you're not better than they are. Like, sit down and shut up.
I do think it's going to come to a point where these owners wise up at some point. They're going to be like, okay, like running back specifically. Quarterback, you can't do it because you find a franchise quarterback, you got to sign him.
Oh, for sure.
But running backs, it's like, okay, play out your rookie deal, and guess what? Your next contract, we're going to offer you a 1-year contract.
They're already doing that. I think it's 12 out of the past 14 Super Bowl champions never paid their running back.
Yeah, and they shouldn't.
Which, for all of those who are caring, we have been saying that on the Football is King podcast for forever. You should never, ever, ever, unless they are like Barry Sanders, pay a running back.
Or Christian McCaffrey, but he's a receiver too.
Or Christian McCaffrey. You need someone, you pay the running backs that are decent runners, but they also add to the passing game because that is what the NFL is right now. But, like, seriously, you look, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl last year with rookie Isaiah Pacheco because he
filled a role.
He can run the
He
ball.
ran in a straight line. That's what he does.
There's a lot of dudes that can run in a straight line.
There's a lot of dudes who can run in a straight line. You can go pick up a guy at Gold's Gym who runs a 4.340 and puts the ball like this, and he'll be good.
He'll be good. Yeah.
So
if you have a big enough hole to run through, you can run.
Yeah. So
I think part of it, and maybe I'm wrong, is just these athletes get a big head because normal world, any of us walk into our boss and say, I'm going to hold out unless you give me a new contract. They're going to say, you're fired. Like,
well, I think the other thing that hurts football is the fact that you look at these baseball, basketball contracts, which are 99% guaranteed.
It's also a completely different sport.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But they see these big old contracts and like, well, we play football. We should be getting paid this. Well, you're paying 53 dudes to be on a team.
Yeah.
Also, you are far more expendable because football is much more of a team sport than basketball is.
Yeah. I just think that there's no way, like, I love Derrick Henry. I love watching Derrick Henry play football in the NFL. There's no way that a team with Derrick Henry is going to win the Super Bowl. It's just not going to happen.
No.
You can't pay a running back like him.
He's going to walk away after a 10-year career and made, what, $70 million? Rough life, dude.
Yeah, good for him. But, like, the teams that are paying their running back $950,000 instead of $15 million
are going to win.
They're going to put that, like, they got a bunch of cap space to give to much more important positions, like offensive and defensive line.
It's almost better to be like Isaiah Pacheco.
Yep.
As opposed to like a Derrick Henry or a Jonathan Taylor or a Zeke.
I mean, it's not because you're not going to make enough money to like retire, but you're going to win. You have a chance to win.
Yeah, but they think they should get paid these big old money. Whereas Isaiah Pacheco's like, I was in an awesome situation. Yeah. I made a good amount of money. Hopefully this parlays into some more money, but he's never going to be the $40 million guy.
Yeah, no.
Do you think
look at Zeke? Zeke is your prime example. Just look at Zeke. Don't pay him that contract.
No.
Do you think some of this has to do with like the running backs that are around our age, where we grew up, where running backs were uber important? You needed a solid running back. You still need a solid running back, but you need one.
Your running back has to be different now. So you look at the teams that are successful.
You don't need an Eddie George anymore. You don't need it.
Yeah, they have a running back that is good over the passing game. I think the stat is what you want your running backs yards per catch to be over 7.5 yards. If your running back's yard per catch is under 7.5, they're not effective enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, you look at McCaffrey. McCaffrey averages like 10.2 yards per catch.
Yeah, I'm paying McCaffrey. I'll pay him.
No, McCaffrey deserves to be paid.
Yeah.
Like I think that the couple of the Eagles running backs from a couple years ago deserved to be paid, and they did. They went.
When
they went about.
When
Kamara deserves to be paid as long as he doesn't get suspended.
No, but when he got his payday a couple years ago, and when he got it, he deserved it. It was
Kamara scored 6 touchdowns in one game, and I think only one of them was a running touchdown. I mean, give the guy his money.
Yeah.
But
your Deontay Foreman's that are like good runners. I hate to say it to you, Blake. But Cordero Patterson, you don't pay him.
No, absolutely not. That's why they drafted Bijan.
But you pay Bijan because Bijan out of the backfield as a receiver is a legit target.
Yeah. Yep.
It was a weird pick because they have Cordero, but also Cordero probably has one more year, and then
I really thought that they were going to trade him to somebody else. I thought somebody else would bite. I think that's what they were hoping for.
You let him be the workhorse this year, and let Bijan get some experience, and then
Bijan will be your third down back.
You let Cordero run his legs off his body.
Yep, and let him go.
You let him go.
In 6 years, there will be no downhill running backs.
No,
it will not be a thing.
No, you're going to start paying, like, your Deuce Vaughns from the Cowboys are going to start getting paid more than your Derrick Henrys.
He looks pretty good, I'm not going to lie.
Hey, also from the Round Rock, Texas area, went to Cedar Ridge High School.
Oh, really?
He went to Cedar Ridge High School. Watched him destroy the Vista Ridge football team many a times. Shout out Sarah, Mark, and all the goods. That's their the high school they graduated from. All right, but he looks pretty good. But also preseason's worthless. But we're gonna talk about it.
Some of the moves he put on them dudes, he put them on skates.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, dude, you just gotta watch him play Texas last year.
He made two players lay each other out. 2 defenders.
He destroyed Texas for 4 consecutive years. All right. We'll skip this question because I want Jonathan, and he's about to get back on. And we'll go back to I watched a thing. I don't remember if it was on ESPN or Fox or whatever. Some morning NFL program asked a question this week, and I thought it was the most ludicrous thing I have ever heard. Based
Probably
off of, it was no, I think it was Fox, but it was based off of their answers. Why I thought it was ridiculous. Off the top of your head, how many teams would trade their quarterback for Dak Prescott today, right now?
0.
All right. Shane is part of the ridiculousness.
I'd say 12.
The Brown, no.
Thank you, Blake.
People talk mess about Dak. Dak is not my favorite player in the league. But
go look at their numbers from last year. Dak Prescott and what's his name? Josh Allen's numbers are the exact same.
The exact same.
The
thing is being on
one's an MVP candidate and one plays for the Cowboys. So you got
I was gonna say you're on the Bills or you're on the Cowboys. The Cowboys, if you're the quarterback of the Cowboys, you will be the most heavily scrutinized player in the league.
Shane, does it have to do with the eye test though? Like with QBR, we talked about this in our.
No, it was not QBR. It's interceptions, yards.
No,
yards
I know
all these things.
I know you're not going to take the QBR into account, but I'm just saying, like when you watch Dak play in big moments.
Oh, I mean, he's got issues. I'm not saying like there are definitely teams that don't trade, but like off the top of my head, Falcons give up Desmond Ridder for Dak immediately.
The Buccaneers are giving up. The Buccaneers are giving up.
The Steelers give up Kenny Pickett. The Texans give up C.J. Stroud. The Panthers give up Bryce Young. All the rookies immediately just gone. The Bucks give up Baker or Kyle Trask, whoever's
give up Jared Goff.
I think the Lions give up Jared Goff because if you put Dak Prescott in that offense, I think
the Seahawks give up whoever in the
Honestly, I hate to say this about Dak. If you put Dak at the Lions, Austin, I think that's a good squad. I think
No, their
that's
defense
actually,
still sucks. That's my only problem with the Lions.
Okay,
Their
in
defense still
2020,
sucks.
I had to look this up. 2021, Dak threw for 4,500 yards, 37 TDs, and 10 INTs.
Yeah. Bears give up Justin Fields.
dude. I hate to say it, but the Saints might give up Derek Carr.
No, Derek
No,
Carr.
Derek-
No, Derek Carr's
dude.
perfect for that system. I'm good with that. I don't think that the Browns get rid of Deshaun Watson because I think Deshaun Watson has enough on his resume to be good. Who else has a crappy quarterback? The Raiders give up Jimmy Garoppolo for Dak immediately.
The 49ers might
With the
take
finer,
The 49ers, dude, give Kyle Shanahan Dak Prescott, and they are the Super Bowl champions, and it's not close. They might go undefeated. Put Dak in a bootleg offense where he just has one read. As long as their defense, as long as the 49ers stayed healthy with Dak Prescott, they'd win the Super Bowl. Easy.
The one knock, he last year he threw a lot of interceptions.
He did the same amount of interceptions. Sorry, I think he threw one more than Josh Allen last year.
Well, Josh Allen also throws too many interceptions.
Doesn't matter. Josh Allen is an MVP candidate every year.
That's the crazy part. That is the crazy part. But I think it's the perception of the teams, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it's the problem. Dak's problem is they're always on prime time.
Yep.
And
so
he's got a doofus as a coach, and they get some goofy looking plays, right? How did the Cowboys season end last year with the freaking Zeke snap throw or whatever? It looks bad.
It got
for
absolutely
Dak.
destroyed.
How did it end the year before that with Dak running a QB draw up the middle and sliding, and it looks like Dak made a mistake, but it's not.
Here's the question: if the Cowboys had Sean McDermott as their head coach, they probably are 4 games better.
No.
And maybe Dak is an MVP candidate?
No, because, I mean, the Cowboys still are winning games. I mean, their defense is stacked. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of Cowboys OTAs and things like that. Either Micah Parsons is the best football player that has ever played football, or the Cowboys' offensive line is absolute trash.
I'm pretty sure I saw a sequence where there was like 5 plays and Micah Parsons had 3 sacks.
Micah Parsons, the other day in practice, had like 16 sacks.
Yeah.
That's not good. Or it's great. It's either great or it's really, really bad.
I don't know what to make of the Cow. I don't know what to
do. The Colts
they'll still win 12 games this year.
The Colts, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago when they had this amazing offensive line and this amazing defense? You put Dak Prescott in there with Jonathan Taylor. That's a good team.
Hey, did y'all see? I saw it was trending that
he's going back to camp.
No, on betting lines, Andrew Luck is possibly going to be the starter of some team. Like he's like
that dude weighs like 140 pounds right now.
I'm just saying, like you can like get on FanDuel who's going to be the starting quarterback, and it's Andrew Luck, and that's insane to me.
I would love to watch Andrew Luck play football again, but he was last interview I saw him, he was like 140 pounds.
Yeah, I would too because his numbers besides playoff wins are very comparable to Patrick Mahomes in his first years of playing football.
I think Jim Irsay would kill that orca to have Andrew.
Oh yeah,
Andrew Luck.
All right, screw Jonathan because he said he was going to get back on, but he hasn't got back on. Last thing before we get into the Kings of the North, because we're already at 35-ish, 38-ish minutes, depending on. I forgot to press start on the timer at the right time. The NCAA came out with their preseason rankings. Was it the AP? AP came out with their rankings.
AP poll. It was the
AP poll came out with their rankings. Let's get our first reactions. I know that we got some strong opinions on this. All right, I'm going to start from the top, and you tell me once you have an objection. Georgia, number 1.
Object.
No, really?
Okay. I don't object.
Sorry, I'll do the top 4 to start. We got Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama. I feel like that's for your preseason rankings. That's fine. My biggest problem is number 5 LSU.
I was gonna say the same.
Yep.
I don't see
objection.
That.
Yeah, LSU. I don't see it.
No, I don't either.
See it either. They played well last year. Yes, I agree with that. They lost to A&M, who was absolutely pathetic.
They're a top 10 team.
They're probably a top 10 team. their quarterback is going to be a liability regardless.
Yeah, they're not going to end up. I don't think I think that when you come to the college football committee with the frat dudes that we talked about last week, that they will not be on the bubble, but they'll still end up in the top 10. But like, no one's going to be thinking, oh, should LSU make the playoff at the end of the season?
Yeah, no.
I think USC is number 6
I
purely based off of Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Liability. I think that's an objection for me too. I think that they're.
I mean,
crap.
it's fine. It's fine. Their offense is ridiculous. The Pac-12 is weak. Yeah. Penn State doesn't ever have an offense, so I don't like them at 7. And then we get to the part where I just don't know, like Florida State, Clemson, Washington.
Okay, Florida State is the one that surprises me, in Washington, besides number 11. But Florida
State is ranked that high because they beat LSU in the first game last year.
Yeah, these are the teams that I don't know, like, who transferred to them, because they're big name schools, right? Like Florida State, you look
that's
back
all it is. It's blue bloods.
Yeah, I mean, they're a blue blood school that, I mean, they could have got some great transfers. I just haven't paid attention to them because they're in the ACC, and who cares?
Here's the thing, like with the Clemson situation, I don't agree with Clemson being number 9 because you're playing a redshirt freshman quarterback. But they're going to be good because they play in the ACC.
Yeah.
There's 2 good teams in the ACC potentially.
Well, we said that a few years ago when they had TJ Tongala, whatever his name is. And then they were terrible. And then we said, they got Cade Klubnik and they're going to be great. And they were also.
People are looking at last year and they're like, well, I think they won 10 games last year. But but you play in the ACC. How many ranked
They played Maryland and almost lost.
I mean, no one matters outside of the top 6. Like,
yeah.
The question is, who is the dark horse team that can be the is there a dark horse team that could be the TCU of last year, who could sneak into the playoffs, even win a game, and then lose by 70 in the national championship?
I think it's such a crapshoot. It's
so many. I actually think that if this year above any, this top 6 is less important because there's so many. Georgia's having to replace a quarterback. Alabama's having to replace a quarterback. LSU, to me.
Oh, but dude, they're going to be one of those 2 teams. Like Georgia and Alabama might both not be like amazing, but one of the 2 of them is going to steamroll.
But the thing is,
I agree. I probably agree.
The dark horse has to come out of the ACC or the Big 12. So out of those 2 conferences, who's your dark horse?
I don't know, man. If USC can learn to play defense, they could be a dark horse. Their offense is electric.
But they're not going to. That's the thing. They're not going to play defense.
Well, if you're talking from the Big 12, it's either Oklahoma or it's UT. And actually, is Oklahoma not in the top 25?
They are number 20. They're number 20.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't see them.
That shouldn't be either. They suck.
They were bad last year.
Yeah, the Big 12. I think I love watching Big 12 football. Besides the fact that the score is 70-72, but because it's relatively even. There's a lot of parity. Anyone can beat. Like, you've got your top teams, but like your Iowa States, who could go get trounced by 40 to Mississippi State, will play Oklahoma and Texas close.
Side note about the Big 12, I actually think they set themselves up for the future. Like, probably they will never be the best conference, right? The Big 10 and the SEC will rule. But they might be the 3rd best conference, and they will be fun games for sure.
Yeah, but from here on out, there's only 2 conferences that matter. It's the Big
100%. But I will watch Big 12 football in the future. It's going to be fun.
Unless your schools like Clemson and things come back in the ACC.
I think Clemson and Florida State are gone.
How is Kansas not ranked in the AP poll if Oklahoma and Texas are?
Because they lost their entire team.
Their team, yeah.
Their quarterback
I don't care
was a senior.
This should be based off last year.
Based off of last year, Texas is returning their quarterback. Oklahoma is returning their quarterback. Yes,
yes. Here's the thing. Yeah, because they have that kid from UCF. Here's the thing about college football preseason polls. It will be 100% wrong. It does not matter anymore.
The easiest thing you can do is just put whoever's the national championship back at 1.
I believe A&M was number 6 at the beginning of the year last year.
We dropped so fast.
Even after the App State game, we were ranked. I believe we were number 24.
I tried to tell y'all that we sucked last year, but no one will listen to me. All right. There you go. Sorry, Kim Williamson, that we talked about college football on the podcast.
Iowa is my
I know you don't
biggest
like it, but
out of the whole top 25. Iowa is my biggest pet peeve. It's like,
Iowa should never be on any football
they're
ranking
liable
ever.
to lose their entire team to gambling. So them and Iowa State,
Yeah.
what is going on with that situation?
Yeah, but hey, I love that all the players voted the under. Because if you're betting on Iowa football, you bet the under every
the
time.
running back that bet the under scored the touchdown to send it over. And there was another game where he bet the under and he got to the 2-yard line, fell, slipped, and they ended up turning the ball over and they didn't hit the over.
Hey, good for him, man.
He was making some money.
Yeah. Well, except for the time that he ran in but good for him on the time that he had the under and he had the integrity to score a touchdown. Good for him.
But the time before that, he slipped.
Yeah, he slipped. And then he also was like, hey, I'll give you like half my winnings if you drop the ball.
Yeah. That is the most ridiculous story to me. It's like, did y'all think they wouldn't catch you? They're not stupid.
Yeah, I just like, hey, Mom, let me vote or let me bet in your name. It's like they know who your mother is.
Yeah, they're not idiots, I promise.
All right. We're at like 45, 46-ish minutes. I thought we might get this one under an hour. We're not going to, but hey, it'll be close. It will not be at 2 hours. I promise, listeners. We will be closer to an hour. I bet we're around an hour and 10 minutes by the time we finish this, so that's good. We are going to go through the AFC and NFC North today, which the NFC North is the definition of the Wild West.
Yeah.
You have no idea which teams are going to be good, which teams are going to be bad. They could all be bad. They could all be great. I promise you they won't all be great.
No.
But it'll be fun to watch. They'll be fun to watch. They're a good Big 12 in the NFL. We don't know who's going to be good this year, but it'll be a good watch. And then we have the AFC North, which it's possible that every single team is going to be amazing.
Yeah, that's true.
So fun to talk about and all of those things. And you will notice that our thumbnail this week is coming from the Game of Thrones King of the North. Please do not sue us, HBO. Appreciate it. Fantastic. Cool. We're going to talk about the NFC North first. And we're going to start off with the winners of the NFC North last year, the Minnesota Vikings, who have everyone's favorite NFL player right now after the Netflix show Quarterback. Let me tell you, the conservatives are loving Kirk Cousins.
Oh, yeah.
Loving Kirk Cousins and Julie. He loves the Lord. He loves taking Tuesday off. He's got a Sabbath. Good for him.
And loves his family.
I also did love Kirk Cousins. I've always liked Kirk Cousins. He's a fun guy. Everything he does.
He's also a great businessman.
Yeah. Everything he does becomes a meme, which is
good.
Yeah.
But he embraces it most of the time too. He's not he's not a hater.
But I also don't ever have to worry about him being super great. So it's like, all right, I like Kirk Cousins. He's fun to root for, and I know he's never going to succeed.
He has the classic, like, he puts your franchise in a conundrum a little bit because he's good enough that you're like, maybe we should pay this guy, but he's never going to win anything.
He has ruined the quarterback market 3 times.
Yeah.
So good for him. So we're going to do today, just like we did last week, where I got the biggest question for each team. We'll talk about their biggest positive, their biggest negative, and go on their over-under and like say what we think. And so for the Minnesota Vikings, the question for them this offseason is, will water reach its level? And what I mean by that is last year, their record in the regular season was 13-4. However,
how many of those one possession games?
However, their point differential last year was a -3. They got outscored and they won 13 games. So the question is, will water reach its level? Will they become average again?
I think it depends on their defense. What does their defense do?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because that brings us to our biggest positive. Our biggest positive for the Minnesota Vikings was they got Brian Flores as a defensive coordinator, and I love Brian Flores. I mean,
I do too. I don't get how he fell out of good graces of Miami.
Racism. But
He's actually a good coach.
He's a great coach.
That whole situation made no sense to me. Also, Kirk Cousins doesn't have to be that special because he has Justin Jefferson. And if they have a serviceable defense, they can put up 20-something points a game.
Their offense is absolutely stacked. I like Jordan Addison as a good third wide receiver coming in.
Well, he's got to stay off the gas pedal a little bit, but we'll see.
Yeah, but they lost Adam Thielen, so
gone.
they need a little bit of help. But I mean, they got TJ Hawkinson at tight end, who I think is a decent tight end.
Their offense will be. I think their offense will be.
Yeah,
fine.
I think their offense will still be fine. Their offense was good, but their defense was.
That's always their biggest. Well, it seems like Kirk Cousins' whole career is what can his defense do? Is because he's going to give you points, but can your defense stop him?
And they lost Eric Kendricks, who was the play caller for their defense. So that's like a big deal. So that's problem. Which brings us to the biggest negative. The Minnesota Vikings secondary is hands down the worst secondary in the NFL. It's not even close. They cannot guard anybody.
Anyone. No. You can get them over the top. You can get them underneath. You can get them at wherever. It doesn't matter.
And they don't have a good pass rush either. I mean, I don't get – if you look at – I've got it right here. If you look at like who they drafted a wide receiver. They drafted 2 defensive backs, which, I mean, the Chiefs did win the Super Bowl with 5 rookie defensive backs, but that's very rare.
That's tough to do.
They drafted a running back, a quarterback, and a defensive tackle. Like, they did not bring in a ton of help on the defensive side of the ball, and, like, their offense was fine. So, like, I don't get it. I don't get why you wouldn't bring in just like if I was the general manager of the Minnesota Vikings, I would have just been only defense, only defense.
Austin, this is where we're smarter than general managers. The Saints also had Joey Porter sitting there, and they needed a defensive back. And what do? We passed on him. I mean, it don't make no sense.
Shane, you know what's funny about that? I read all these reports about Joey Porter Jr., and they're all like, this dude doesn't even know how to play football.
They don't know what they're talking about.
I've seen it like probably 5 or 6 times.
Hey, this is why we've said since the beginning, since episode 1 of the Football is King podcast, we know more than general managers in the NFL. Like, it's just a fact. Yeah. All right. Let me get y'all's 2 opinions, though. Let's get to the over-under on the Minnesota Vikings, which Las Vegas understands that they are not a good football team. They're an average football team, and their over-under is at 8.5. So do we think that they will have a winning record or a losing record?
Oh, man.
AFC North.
Which, hold on, this might affect y'all's opinion. Let me look up what divisions they play.
Yeah, that might affect us.
They play the NFC South.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
And also the NFC North, which is not great.
I think they go over because they probably finished second in the division.
You mean AFC North?
No, they're in the NFC North, so they play the Packers, the Bears, and the Lions. Oh
well, yeah, duh. Sorry, I don't know.
They play the NFC North and they play the AFC West.
Wait, no, they play the NFC South and the AFC.
Sorry, the NFC South. Sorry, they play the NFC South and the AFC West. So they get the easy schedule of the Bucks, Panthers, Falcons, all those teams. Not the Saints. Saints are a good football team, not an easy game, but they get the hard games of the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Raiders.
Ooh, I'm gonna give them.
Chargers.
I'm gonna give them 9 wins. Yeah, I'm gonna give them 9. I'm gonna take them.
You're gonna take the over. Oh shoot. Hold on. Dang it. Google signed me out. Let me type my password in to remember what
That's a
did I
tough
put.
one, though. That really is a tough one.
Oh, get excited because the NFC North, all of their things are about the same. I picked the Minnesota Vikings to go under 8.5.
The problem is you got to play the Bears. That's probably 2 wins.
Justin Fields for MVP.
Yeah.
Danny O.
That's all media hype.
I think Justin Fields makes some good plays for SportsCenter, but like he doesn't do what is necessary to win you games. And we're going to talk about it because the Bears are on the list to talk about tonight. But before we get to the Bears, let's talk about the team that owns the Bears. That's the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, they have me. They're a little concerning.
So my biggest question for the Green Bay Packers is Matt LaFleur actually a good coach?
He's going to have to prove it.
We're going to find out. That's for sure.
Yeah. That ain't going to be a lie. We're going to find out.
The Packers have the potential to win like 2 games.
Oh, more than that.
They may win about 6.
I do think, based off of what I saw,
they have a favorable schedule, though.
From the Packers' one preseason game, which I understand you should not judge teams based off their one preseason game. But I think Matt LaFleur is getting to run more of his offense than he did against Aaron Rodgers. He did a lot of run game, a lot of bootlegs, which Aaron Rodgers did not like. Aaron Rodgers likes to be in shotgun, which is why he goes to the New York Jets. As it's not Coach Boone. What's the other coach's name? And remember the Titans that lose to the Hall of Fame, the white guy.
Oh yeah, dang it.
Oh crud.
You just lost. No, you just lost yourself the Hall of Fame. Whatever. The white guy, the white coach who loses the Hall of Fame for Virginia, because they would always say that they're in shotgun. Who do they think they are? The New York Jets?
Bill Yost, Coach Yost.
Yeah, Coach Yost. Yost.
We have all
put my kid back in the game, Yost.
As a group, we have probably watched that movie no less than 100 and something times.
Oh yeah, way too many times. But I think that. What happened?
I don't know.
You
done
there it is.
My webcam, like on Zoom, like cuts out after a certain amount of time. I don't know if it overheats. I don't know, but apologize to all of us watching on YouTube who are still watching after an hour. Appreciate it, by the way. But yeah, I think the Packers have a chance to be decent because their defense should be really, really good if they avoid injuries. We're gonna find out if their offense can make it work.
I think that's the biggest question for all Packers fans is LaFleur as good as he was hyped to be? Because when you have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, he can hide a lot of crap.
Who do they even have at wide receiver? I mean,
Roman Dobbs, Christian Watson, decent.
Okay, decent.
They also have they lost Alan Lazard and Cobb. Randall Cobb was 90 years old. So
he's 30. He's 32, I believe. I heard this week he is 32.
Who gives a crap?
Which is shocking.
Absolutely shocking. Sorry, I said Roman Dobbs. His name is Romeo Dobbs. And Christian Watson.
Aaron Jones still.
Aaron Jones is good out of the backfield.
But yeah, other than that, I mean,
I think they are like a humongous wild card.
That's the thing. I could see them winning like 10 games, and I could see them winning like 4.
The defense will have to. The defense may be able to keep them in every game.
Yeah.
Dontavian Wicks is who led them in passing last week in their first preseason game.
Well,
but
all right,
who
but
the heck is? I know, but who is that? Like, is he a rookie?
never heard of him.
Games, I'm like, I've never even heard of any of these dudes. I have to Google search what college I went to last time.
So,
he played at Virginia. So I mean, come on, he can't be that
I
good.
mean, they scored like 8 points a game. So
yeah, Virginia might be the worst Power 5 team in America.
yeah, he can't be that good.
Vanderbilt.
I don't know. I think Vanderbilt might have pasted Virginia last year.
So for the Packers, I had a lot of fun with the Packers as I was going through their offseason. I will say their biggest positive is that their defense should be good if they stay healthy. But their biggest negative, they lost their kicker.
Oh.
Mason Crosby is gone.
Who's their kicker now?
I don't know. So, like, that's a big deal. Like,
what happened to Mason Crosby?
He's 42 years old.
Yeah, he's old.
But did he retire or did he
I don't know. I have zero clue where Mason Crosby is. I just know that he no longer plays for the Packers.
He's a free agent.
So, kicker is a big deal. Like, if you look at the teams, honestly, there are teams that are more talented than the Chiefs that would make the playoffs, but their kicker sucks.
Who scores the most in the course of the game most of the time?
Oh, it's always the kickers. If you go look at like the most points scored in NFL history, it's always kickers.
Yeah.
That's the reason why Justin Tucker should be one of the highest paid players in the NFL. That dude is a robot.
He casually hit a 60-yarder in the first preseason game.
I don't know how we're not making millions off our podcast. Rob Domofsky's big takeaway from the Packers. Guess what it is?
Mason Crosby's gone.
The unknown. Well, thank you. Yes, thank you. I mean, that is quite the intelligence.
I mean, why are we not making millions off our podcast? Because you're reading Rob, whatever his name is, Domofsky's takes on the air instead of saying your own takes. That's why.
I was looking up who their kicker was. You can't see my phone. It's Anders Carlson from Auburn. And you scroll down, and it's the latest news for the Packers is Rob Domofsky's big take on the Packers is the unknown. Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to even form it. So let me just say this: preseason is turned into even a bigger joke than I remember. Besides, what team played their actual starters? I think Denver did, maybe.
Yeah,
anyways,
I mean, lots of teams played their starters for a little bit. All the people who had problems with their offense last year played their starters for a while.
But it's turned into a bigger joke than I remember in the past. And so it's like, unless you're in like the facility every day with some of these teams, especially
you have no idea.
So much has changed; it's impossible to even know.
Hey, while we were recording this, we didn't pay attention. Hold on, we got an update. While we were recording this, Messi scored again, and Inter Miami won 4-1.
His goal, he was about 30 yards out, kicked it on the ground, his goalkeeper couldn't stop it.
Weren't they like not even gonna make the playoffs, and now
they were the worst team in the MLS.
Now they're gonna win.
They still may not make the playoffs, but they're gonna win every game from here on out.
But they are in the final for a cup comp. They're one game away from winning a trophy.
That's insane.
All right, let's go back to the Packers. Their over-under is slightly less than the Vikings, but you will notice as we go through this that Vegas has no clue who is going to win the NFC North.
Yeah,
so their lines are very similar. They are at 7.5 instead of 8.5.
I'll take the under just because I don't trust Jordan Love.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under too just because that. I mean,
I have the over and I have the ticket that the Packers will win the NFC North.
Oh gosh! Wow.
Jordan Love could either ball out.
Dude, you get good money at that.
Oh yeah, because everyone's picking the Lions. Defense
wins championships, gentlemen.
But their defense sucked last year. Their defense is good.
Dude, their defense is good. I don't care what you say. Their defense is good. What's up, Jonathan? Welcome back.
You're sounding like Dan Orlovsky.
Sorry, gents.
I mean,
hey, we're good. We were moving on without you. All right. We are talking about the team that I am the most to talk about. We are going to roast the national media. Well, let's talk about the Bears.
Oh gosh. Under, I don't even know what their over under is. Give
All
me
right.
nine.
If it's
So-
9.5, I'm betting every dollar I have in my bank account.
Yeah.
My
I would
question
take a
about the
second mortgage
Chicago Bears. Where the heck is this hype coming from? They were the worst team in the NFL. And let's go. Hold on before we get there.
Y'all
Let's
ain't gonna
talk
do
about
bad.
let's talk about their offseason.
Y'all ain't gonna
They've
like
got
what I have to
nothing.
say.
They drafted a bunch of nobodies, but they did add in free agency DJ Moore, decent wide
Ooh.
receiver.
He's
is
not a number one.
Hey, he had one catch for 70 yards in the preseason game?
Okay, but come on, let's be DJ Moore is
DJ Moore's a
decent-
good player.
He's a
DJ
good player.
Moore's a good player.
But he's not a number
Come on.
one.
They got
Yeah.
Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards, some half decent linebackers. They brought in everyone's favorite tight end, Robert Tonyan.
You're not doing very good convincing here, Austin.
And that's it. That's their offseason.
They are gonna have the number one draft pick next year.
No, I don't agree with
No,
that.
they won't.
But how many times in the
The
NFL,
Cardinals
the NFL,
will.
the NFL is an impossible league.
Well,
If they
after what
win-
Kyler Murray is
If they
wearing.
win 7 games, you're looking at Eberflus and you're like, that was quite a turnaround from 3.
Yeah,
Yeah, yep.
That's what I think. I'm like, you can't expect them to go out and win 10 games after they won 3 last year.
for sure.
If they win 7 games, you're looking good.
However, on the flip side, Justin Fields' odds to win MVP are quite high.
That's crazy. That is the craziest thing to me.
So
Dan Orlovsky for that one.
no, okay, I will give Dan Orlovsky his credit.
I like
He did not say that Justin Fields will win MVP. He said that Justin Fields will play MVP level football, but he's on a team that is so bad it will be impossible for him to win MVP. Now, what
I like Dan Orlovsky too, but he says some.
I don't
wild
like Dan
shit.
Orlovsky.
I like
What
Dan
I-
Orlovsky.
What I disagree with Dan Orlovsky is, like, while he went to this other podcast that we will not mention because we are rivaling them in terms of viewership on YouTube and things like that.
Absolutely.
He
Are
said,
we?
yeah, well, okay, fine. He said on the Pat McAfee show that he doesn't think that he will win MVP, but his numbers will compete. And he said all the numbers, and every single number was like significantly worse than Mahomes, Burrow, Allen from last year. He's quoting MVP numbers from like 2010, which the quarterback has changed completely. If Justin Fields went and played quarterback in 2010, he would be the MVP. But
He's quoting numbers from when he ran out the back of the end zone.
exactly, it's not the same. Like, I'm sorry. He was like, if he throws for 4,000 yards, I'm like, if you're throwing for 4,000, you are way behind.
I don't get the media hype behind the Chicago Bears.
I don't either.
All right, listen.
Uh-oh. Are we getting a little more
I
Jackson
think
cake?
they could be a surprise factor.
No,
I
no.
love it. I love it. He's bought in. Let's go. Now, I do think that they will win more games.
I
than
do
they did
think
last year.
Justin Fields is a dog.
Like,
I do think he's
I
pretty
don't
damn
think
good.
so.
let me hit you with a little fact that this is my favorite fact. The Chicago Bears.
I would
threw
take Justin Fields over Stroud any day.
The Chicago Bears threw the ball.
Well, there's gunshots going outside my house.
Oh, that's fun. Welcome to Atlanta, everybody.
Hey,
Hey.
Tom, baby.
Close your blinds. Get to an interior interior.
That was the second
room.
one that the other morning their 5 went off like bang, 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 bang. And I woke up and I was like, was I dreaming?
You need to get you a gun.
Hey, we got that in Georgetown plenty too. So
Bunch of white kids in Georgetown popping off.
no,
Could
not
be
white
fun.
kids. It ain't white kids. I can tell you that. Georgetown is
Dude.
not.
Clip it. Clip
No,
it.
hey, you can clip it all you want. Georgetown is not what you think it was. Not the Georgetown that when we grew up. Shoot. All right. Edit that out. Fantastic.
Edit that out, bro. He has to edit that out, dude.
I won't, but it's fine. Because I don't have editing software. Let's talk about the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears.
I don't hate their team, dude.
No, that's fine. Last year, they threw the ball 8.5 times
They're gonna
less.
throw the ball more.
No. They threw the ball 8.5 times less than the Indianapolis Colts per game.
They're gonna throw the ball more.
No, they won't, because even when the team is losing, the coach
run.
doesn't trust Justin Fields to throw a football.
They're gonna throw it more.
He's
I'm
not
telling you
good.
right now, they're gonna
I
throw
don't
it
think
more.
he's good.
They'll throw it more, and he'll throw more picks.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that great. I think the Bears suffer from the honestly, the worst thing that happened to the Chicago Bears was the Philadelphia Eagles making the Super Bowl last year. Because everyone looks at Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields. Oh, they're similar players. That's how they can do this. Well, Jalen Hurts has has a great team around him.
Yeah.
Also,
Jalen Hurts is also significantly bigger than Justin Fields, right?
But
he's also a better passer and all these
football.
things. But the number one thing that every coach will tell you about Jalen Hurts, he works harder than everybody else. It's not even close. Jalen Hurts is the number one worker in the NFL. He made 0 posts on social media.
I have firsthand knowledge. Well, okay, so I guess it's actually third-hand knowledge. So a friend of Lane Johnson's, right? I have a friend
Just get us to the story. We don't.
No,
care
I have
who
a
knows
friend
who.
that's a friend of Lane Johnson's. He's like best friends from childhood.
This is like screwing your third cousin.
No, that doesn't even make sense. He was telling me that Lane Johnson has a big barn behind his house that is a big weight room.
Yeah, this girl listened to Bussin' with the Boys. She doesn't know him.
No. He knows him.
Just tell the story. Let's go.
So,
we're way past where we're supposed to be.
They have a whiteboard with all the PRs and whatnot, and Jalen Hurts holds like 70% of the PRs in that entire area.
700 pounds.
Guy's a dog, bro.
I love my guy Michael Lombardi. You go and listen to him talk about anything.
I love him.
All these NFL teams are trying to duplicate what the Eagles did last year.
Yep.
And he will tell you the number one thing that they are all missing is someone who has the character of Jalen Hurts leading their football team.
Also, okay, this is probably not even a hot take. I think in January, late December, January, when everyone's talking about who is the biggest disappointment in the NFL, the Chicago Bears will be number one on that list, and it's not even warranted. It's totally based off media propaganda.
I
won
think
3 games, folks.
I think it's going to be the Detroit Lions, but we'll get there.
Maybe so.
6-1,
but the Detroit or the Bears won 3 games.
I guarantee you the biggest disappointment in the NFL is coming from the NFC North.
Well, yes, I guarantee
it's going to be the Vikings because they went from 13-4 to just absolute dog crap. It's going to be the Packers because they are historically great.
But nobody expects anything.
I mean, how many years has it been since the Packers have not had a Hall of Famer at quarterback? And we're going to have
a winning season.
Yeah. It's going to be the Bears because everyone thought Justin Fields was going to take the next big step and be the Bears are going to have the 1985.
Okay, Austin, timeout. What are people just so bored right now that that's where I don't get the Bears hype. Are they just so bored they're just throwing crap out of board?
No, people think because Justin Fields can make these occasional incredibly athletic. I mean, I'll give it to him. When he runs the ball, it's so exciting. It's so exciting.
Yeah.
But the guy he's literally so bad at throwing a football right now in the NFL that when his team is down 20, his coach still won't throw.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in very recent years, the NFL has proven that you can come back from 20 points quickly. Chargers against the Jaguars in the playoffs. Chiefs against the Texans in the playoffs.
Chiefs against the Texans.
We've proven that you can come back from
Colts against the Chiefs.
Colts against the Chiefs in the playoffs many years ago. It was 38-3.
Blake, are you good?
In the Williamson,
my neighbor Jose's outside, so it must be okay. But there's definitely been shots going on.
In the Williamson household, we do not speak about the 38-3 moment. It was bad. It was bad.
I remember a couple of years ago, we're all watching the playoffs, and Austin, again, what was it? The Texans?
I was at that
Detroit?
game.
Yeah, and we're all
It was
like,
great.
"Oh, this game's over!" And what do you know? Here comes the second half, and the Chiefs.
Two of the greatest sports moments of my life have been at Arrowhead Stadium in the playoffs. One of which was beating the Texans after coming back from 24-0. And the other one was beating Joe Burrow last year in the AFC Championship game. It was so fun to be there.
That was
It
such a
great.
good game, though. That was such a fun game.
It was a great game. We were sitting around a bunch of Bengals fans who were nice, and we were like, we weren't talking smack, but like, it was good to be like, hey, that was like, there were moments where it was like, hey, that was a bad call by the refs, and we could talk about it. And there was like moments like, man, Joe Burrow is a dog. Patrick Mahomes is a dog. And then the like Bengals fans that were like behind us when Joseph Osai pushes Patrick Mahomes, they were all immediately like, he pushed him late. That's a good call. Like, that's the right thing to do. So it was so fun to be there, and it was also great because I hate the Bengals right now so much. All right, we got to keep it moving.
Blake, exercise your Second Amendment right and get a firearm.
I saw the fireworks. This one's fireworks. The other morning was not fireworks. This one was fireworks.
Who's shooting? What kind of vatos?
Dude, I love it. I love it. It's freaking August.
We might have to clip. Wait, we might have to clip this out. The Hispanic folks do not turn down for nobody.
Hey.
They're going to shoot fireworks, whether it's December 12th, July 4th, August 15th.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They're shooting fireworks.
Hey, they're doing it for my sister's birthday. I hate to break it to you. I'm not editing anything out of this podcast. That's too much work.
On Cinco de Mayo, too, because they shoot them every night.
I don't know if y'all know this, but my first day of school is tomorrow morning. I am not editing. I am just putting post.
That's fine.
All right, the Chicago Bears over under 7.5.
Under.
If they win 7,
over. Come on, Jonathan. They're gonna go from literally the number one draft pick to winning more than 7 games.
Do you have the schedule?
I have the schedule right here.
What's the schedule?
Okay, so they play the teams that they play.
Still the NFC.
Hold
NFC
on.
South.
They play the NFC South.
For NFC South.
Which, I mean, the Bucks, Panthers, and the Falcons are not hard wins. The Saints are going to be tough to beat.
They're not beating the Saints.
And it's also in New Orleans. So
they're
good luck.
Not winning the Super Bowl, but they're going to be a tough beat.
Also, they play the AFC West. So they play the Chiefs,
4 losses.
the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Chargers.
So you probably got to get 4 wins in your division.
And they're not doing that.
7.5?
7.5.
Just say it. Take the over. They're not doing it.
No, I'm gonna take under. They're not getting 7. I think they'll get. I think they'll get 6 or 7, but I don't think they'll get 8.
Guess what? 7's a good year.
I would love to see how many teams got the number 1 overall pick and beat their over the next season. That's what I want to know. What is their general, how many wins do they usually get? Because there's no way, very few times off the top of my head, can I see a team going from the number 1 pick to winning 8 football games.
I bet if we look at the last 5 number 1 picks,
I mean, they've almost all been the Texans.
They've probably all been bad.
Yeah.
Even to this day, they're probably still bad.
Probably.
Besides Laramie Tunsil.
I mean, their draft picks might be fine, but their team still sucks.
The individual player might be good, but the team
all right.
is bad.
Finally, the Detroit Lions, also the media darlings of the NFL right now.
Also, the public darling. They have 8% of the money to win the Super Bowl on the Detroit Lions.
My number 1 question about the Detroit Lions is, can the city of Detroit finally have a good sports team again? You look at the Red Wings, the Tigers, they all suck. Historically suck. The Pistons.
The Red Wings had their time.
No, recently.
Favorite coach in the NFL. Right
After
there.
I heard Dan Campbell say that, I've been looking to get a real life lion on the side. Give him the over. Give me
All
the
right.
over.
I will say this. Let's talk
I'm on the
about
Lions train, bro. I might get a freaking shirt.
their offseason. Number one, they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, which I'm a big fan.
I'm all in on Gibbs.
I'm a big fan. They also got Brian Branch, which I think is a decent safety.
Alabama, so it's gonna be fine.
Who's that tight end they drafted? Who's that
Sam
tight end?
Laporta, whatever. No.
No, did you see them interviewing him?
No, shush. But what they did do is they changed their entire secondary in the free agency. They got Cam Sutton. They got CJ GJ. For those of you who don't know, that's CJ Gardner Johnson.
He's good. He's good.
They also got a different corner that I'm just not overly thrilled about.
Their biggest loss, though, Jamal Williams.
They lost Jamal Williams. They lost.
That's a huge loss, though.
They also lost
huge
DJ Chark DJ Chark do. So that's not great. That being said, they also lost every single one of their corners. They literally in free agency lost 4 corners.
Remember what happened last time they got rid of did they get rid of their cornerbacks coach? And after week 5 last year, and all of a sudden they just started winning every game.
Yeah,
but
so maybe that's a good thing.
They dropped first round draft pick Jeff Okudah, gone.
Oh, I didn't know they dropped him.
But I thought that was because something happened.
And he also never played well. He was a bust.
And Dan Campbell's a dog. You got to play.
They also dropped Mike Hughes. He's a Super Bowl winner with the Kansas City Chiefs. He was absolute dog shit, but he played for the Chiefs. They literally lost 4 corners, and the other 2, I don't know who they are, but whatever.
Their defense
didn't they have Prince Amukamara for last year?
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
I do. Shout out, I do.
So I think they had a really good offseason. I think they had a really good last season as well.
Prince Amukamara is shit.
But having a completely different secondary that's a problem, in my opinion.
I actually don't for the Lions. I don't think anything's got to be better than their secondary last year.
Also,
their coach, and they won 5 games in a row after that.
They went on a winning streak after.
I thought Aaron Glenn was a bad defensive coordinator. No, it turns out he's had a bad secondary coach.
Yeah, they spurred off 7 straight wins.
Okay, but their 7 straight wins, it wasn't all of a sudden they were shutting teams down. They were scoring the games were 38-35.
Yeah,
you got Prince Amukamara back there. You're shutting them down.
That was years ago, but their defense has been pretty sucky for a while.
Prince Amukamara was playing in the Big 12 championship with Colt McCoy and what's his face on the defensive line.
Yeah,
no, the defensive line for Nebraska.
Oh, listen. All right, I just want to say
sucked. I'm sorry. He played for the Saints for a year, and I wanted to just back him because of Ike but that dude is terrible at football. He's
not. He's a Super Bowl champion with the New York Giants.
He played for 12 years.
I'm pretty sure he won a Super Bowl with the New York Giants.
Yeah, he did. He did. And I think he actually made some plays in that Super Bowl, but Lord of mercy, with the Saints, he sucked. He was terrible.
All right, Jonathan, say your thing.
10 years.
Bro, you said Jordan Shipley. I hate the University of Texas. I got to give all respect to the Shipley brothers. I love those guys.
They're great.
They're great.
All right, Detroit Lions. They win more than 9.5 games.
Under.
This is more of a heart pick because I want them to win so bad.
Yeah, me too.
They're going over.
I got them under. I'm sorry. I can't pick the Detroit Lions to win 10 games. 10 games is a lot.
If they bring a live line on the sideline,
give me the over, baby.
Hey,
let's
go. Shout out Evan Foxy, 10-7 and a playoff win.
Yeah,
that's what he's been
tripping.
predicting.
He's tripping.
Ain't no way. All right.
No, I'm taking the under every day of the week.
I think the Lions are a victim of hard knocks because everyone walked away from that being like, that's a cool team right there.
Yeah.
They're probably not
Yeah,
gonna be
just because their doofus of a head coach showed up to a press conference with a NASCAR helmet on. I mean, the dude is a buffoon.
I honestly thought we would be done by now, but we're not, and it's gonna get I'm sorry to all our listeners. This is gonna take a while because we're getting to the most heated division in football, and this is gonna take a long time. It's
I can't
time.
wait to talk about the Ravens.
It's time for the AFC North, and
Time out. I have to mentally prepare. 1 minute. Give me a second.
don't
The
worry.
Ravens
Hey,
are winning the Super Bowl. Lamar
Jonathan,
Jackson.
The
hey,
hell up. Dang,
Jonathan,
Happy.
I saved the Ravens for last, so don't you worry.
Oh,
But
of course
I'm serious.
you did. Of
I'm
course you did.
serious. I'm serious. The AFC North might be easily the most competitive team. I think all 4 of these teams can be 9-win teams.
I want everyone to
They're
know that
good.
I knew that we were going to talk about this subject when Austin started the podcast with, I've rearranged everything for snippets.
No,
Before he announced what he was on what we were
I
gonna
said
talk about.
that today we're talking about the Norths. I also said that last episode. So shush. All right, let's start with the winners of last year of the AFC North, the Cincinnati Bengals. My
How long was
question,
Joe Burrow out?
my question for the Bengals is Burrow is going to be okay, right?
He was
How long was
sprinting.
he out?
He was sprinting like yesterday or the day before. He's fine.
Fantastic.
That
Which
doesn't mean he's fine.
I have told Kim Williamson that, but it's been an hour and 27 minutes, so there's no way she's still listening. My girl, Kim Williamson, celebrated when Joe Burrow was injured. She texted me and was like, Joe Burrow's hurt. And I was
Could
like,
not
oh, we do
celebrate.
not root for injuries.
Wait till Pat Mahomes.
Oh,
goes.
you
That
don't.
would be a
I do.
So,
I
hey,
if
do
Pat
too.
Mahomes goes
I do
down,
too. I
Cam
do.
Williamson is
Speak
liable.
for yourself,
I
bro.
am an incredibly competitive person, and I want the Chiefs to win more than anything, but I do not root for injuries.
Hey, when your defensive
don't.
coordinator
You don't.
puts bounty on people, you
Yes,
will
sir.
pay. You don't
I
care.
need to watch that. Isn't there a Netflix documentary
Yes,
about
there
that?
is. It's
Yeah,
great.
I haven't watched it
It's
yet.
great.
You
Yeah.
can also just look into the 2 Live crew for the University of Miami. They did
I
the
mean,
same
oh
thing.
shoot, I know all of the things, but I want to let me hear some things about some players like ratting some coaches out and things like
Some
that.
details. Want some details?
I mean, I think Joe Burrow plays week 1, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what That's what
Yeah.
I've read.
If
So-
he doesn't, there's a problem. That's a problem.
He was He was full on sprinting. Like
I'm not gonna lie though.
Who is their backup?
When I saw that
Who's the
video, I did immediately think Achilles, and if he had
That's
an
what I
Achilles,
do.
if he had an Achilles, like the Bengals were gonna suck, but they'd
Yeah,
be good next year. Honestly, if Joe Burrow was fully injured, it would honestly be better for the Bengals
It would be,
because they get way better draft help.
and they may
That's
not have to pay him quite what they would.
If
otherwise.
Joe Burrow is at like 60 to 70%, it's honestly worse for them because they might
That's
finish
true.
like medium.
Trevor Simeon.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I love Trevor Simeon. He's
I did
fine.
too. What was that word, Austin? What was that
Yeah,
first word?
Trevor
I
Seaman.
said Simeon.
Trevor Simeon.
Simeon. Almost
Seaman.
like
Trevor
like
Seaman.
all right. So they're big the all right, hold on. Can we just decide if hey, I'll edit this part out. Can we talk about the fact that the Pat McAfee show today talked about Bukkake for a long
No.
time?
I didn't
What's
watch it.
happening on that show?
I've been
All right.
distracted. I haven't
That's
watched
it.
a lot of
They're
that.
trying to get everything out of their system before they
Yeah.
go to ESPN.
All right. The Cincinnati Bengals. Their biggest positive is that they fixed their offensive line,
Yes.
which honestly, as a fan of a team in the AFC, sucks really bad because Chris Jones single-handedly won us an AFC championship last year.
But if you have Trevor Seaman playing quarterback, it doesn't
Wait,
matter.
what was that, Shane? What was that? Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Shane, you got to realize that we're on Zoom and it's slow. You can't move so fast. You got to go slow.
Yeah,
you're too
do
blurry.
that slow. Do it slow.
No, it's still blurry.
Slower. Slower, if you will.
It's a family program.
But the Bengals The Bengals' biggest problem is very similar to the Lions' biggest problem. They lost every single person on their secondary. They lost both safeties and both corners.
There's a lot of secondary members looking for work these days.
The Bengals defense,
Bring
their
in
defensive line will still be good. Their secondary, which I don't get why this is their strategy, because the AFC has 6 really good teams at throwing a football. The Bengals are hoping to win every game 40-38. That's their plan.
But haven't we learned something that a good defensive back room is kind of key to
in the AFC? That's what you need. You have to have it.
That's kind of key to winning a Super Bowl is you need a good defensive back room.
Well, we say that, but the Chiefs won the Super Bowl with 5 rookies last year, but that's whatever.
Oh, you got Patrick Mahomes, though. It's a little different.
We got Andy, baby.
You got him and his cheeseburgers.
Those cheeseburgers win games. All right. Cincinnati Bengals, 11.5, which is a big number. It's one of the biggest numbers in the NFL this year. Hold on, let me tell you who they play. They play the NFC West. So Rams, Cardinals, 49ers, Seahawks.
So there's 4 wins.
But they also get
Don't
the
say
AFC.
the NFC.
They get the AFC South.
Oh gosh.
So they get
there's
Texans,
8 wins.
Jags,
There's 8
Colts.
wins right there.
Wait, why do they not play the Titans? Oh, they do. All right, there they are. So they get the
there's-
AFC South.
Yeah, over. They got 8 wins just out of conference.
No, I'm sorry. They will lose to the 49ers in San Francisco.
Who's playing quarterback?
Purdy.
You hope.
No, apparently
It's like week 8. It's Purdy.
LaFleur literally said the other day, like, Purdy would have to absolutely explode in practice.
Yeah. They're also winners.
Whatever.
They also won their division, so they have to play the Bills. They have to play the Ravens twice because their division. They got to play the Steelers twice.
I'll take the over.
They have to play the Browns twice, which I don't know if you've paid attention, but Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals suck all of the balls against the Cleveland Browns. They also have to play the Chiefs. They have to play. I mean, like they won their division and they made the AFC Championship. So their schedule is tough.
I just want you to know there's something special about when you say things like that. It's something special.
That's fine. And I will say all
over.
of those things, and I still took the Cincinnati Bengals to hit the over.
If you put a gun to my head and said I would never put money on this line, if you put a gun to my head and said I had to bet one side or the other, I would take the under because so much can go wrong in an NFL season.
That's true.
Yeah,
right.
No.
Burrow is coming off an injury, so he could get hurt again very easily.
Also, if you remember the beginning of last season, they looked like absolute dog
dookie. Yep.
Doesn't matter. They were bad for
it
1
doesn't
or 2
matter.
games.
Exactly. No, 100%.
No, it was like 4 or 5 weeks.
100%. It
doesn't matter. They still won some of the game. They looking like trash.
Dude,
they still win 3-2.
Like dog. Shane.
Dookie.
Look like dog Dookie.
Am I the only person?
Hey,
that's
look,
cussed
you know
on this
that.
podcast?
You
Good
know
for me.
that.
Let's go. That's rare.
You know that white stuff that.
Hey, I'm
grows
trying
on
really
dog
hard,
Dookie?
Austin. I'm looking at this.
I mean, just
Bible
as long
right
as you
here.
don't say GDs or JCs, everyone will be okay. But when
I've been told that I gotta watch my mouth. So,
Mama Kim, I got my Bible in bed with me.
dude, Mama Kim, it's an hour and a half in. She's out.
Well,
you know
Which is
that
why I was able to throw
any
that
of our
dig at her.
moms, here I am. Look at this.
that white stuff that grows on dog Dookie after it's been sitting there for a couple weeks.
Then there's Shane.
Oxidation.
Then there's
Yeah.
Shane.
That's
Science teacher.
All right, moving on. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, which
under.
dude,
Bro,
no,
give
I
me Kenny
hold on.
freaking Pinnett all day, bro.
I love
Kenny Pinnett. Give me the Bennett.
I love-
Pickett. Give me Kenny Pickett all
I
day.
freaking
baby.
love Vegas and the way that they set lines. We'll get there in a second. But
I was
my
on
biggest
the cusp,
question
and then I
is
messed up his last name.
freaking Mike Tomlin.
Bro.
Is
he's
he going to
dog.
have a losing season for the first time
No.
ever? I don't
No,
think he
he's
is.
one of the dude. This guy does not get the respect he deserves. This guy is one of, if not the best coach in the NFL.
He's not, but thank you for that.
Bro,
Also, he
the
does
dude
not.
doesn't lose. He doesn't have losing seasons.
He gets plenty of respect. Like Mike Tomlin is one of the most revered coaches in the NFL.
Okay,
He's
I want-
also
okay,
one of the
I don't
only
want this to
coaches
come
that has
across
been
wrong.
caught cheating in the playoffs during a game.
I don't want this to come across wrong, Austin, but a lot of his respect just comes off of a certain purpose.
I don't agree
No.
with that at all. He's
The
never had a
national
losing
media
season.
talks about him being a great coach all of the time, and it's not because he's black.
I'm just saying, like,
Never had a losing season.
this man is
Never had a losing
incredible.
season. Definitely cheated in the playoffs against the Ravens when he stepped onto the field.
He's
Like-
incredible, bro.
He's incredible because
Can you what's the win
The
total?
fact
hold on,
that they
we'll get
had
there.
a
That's
winning
last,
season
Blake.
last
We
year
gotta
is
savor.
insane.
It's
The
8.5.
fact that they had a winning season last year is completely insane,
it helps when you have that defense.
dude.
Kenny Pickett looked pretty good. My only question is,
I like Kenny Pickett, dude.
I
He's
like
a
Kenny
dog,
Pickett.
bro.
he's
I
got
like
a.
Kenny
dog.
Pickett. I mean,
He was good when nobody knew what to expect out of him.
all right. Yeah, I was say pick a number for this upcoming season. Out of the 32 quarterbacks in the NFL, what would you put Kenny Pickett at? 20?
Yeah, I mean somewhere in that. I was going to say 17.
Like he's not top half.
We don't have enough of a.
Kenny Pickett wears 2 gloves on his hand. He is not top half.
I would venture to say by the
What
end
does
of the
Dan
season,
Orlovsky say?
I bet by the end of the season he's top half.
He's not top half.
Oh gosh.
Their
I'm just
team
saying by the end of
no,
the season. I'm
the
predicting.
Steelers might be
I'm
top half.
predicting
but
the
Kenny
future right
Pickett
now. End of the season, he's top half.
ain't no way.
Jonathan, if he was Duck Hodges dating old what's her name, then I'll give it to you. But
Duck Hodges
He's a dog, bro.
out
He's a dog.
Stanford University.
hey,
a
Duck
dog.
Hodges is dating old what's her big booty Judy though, so I'll give it to him.
I wish I recorded that second right there.
Hold on, I got it. Here we go.
Please snippet that.
I don't know what's her name though. What's that country? singer?
I think it's Laney Wilson.
Lainey Wilson. Oh, big booty Judy. Yeah,
Duck Hodges is not still in the NFL, is he?
No.
yeah, he's
Freaking
still a
dump truck
Steeler.
out here.
She went to a concert wearing his jersey,
There
and
you
I
go.
thought that man he's living the victory lap life. That man has got it.
I'm telling you, the best jobs in the world,
Backup
third string quarterback in the NFL, where you're still making your league minimum of $850 a year. Third string goalkeeper in soccer, where you never have to play, but you're making like 34,000 pounds a week, which is pretty freaking good.
And
I got
Lainey-
bad news, guys. Duck Hodges, he was playing in the CFL last year.
Oh, duh. Come on. All right. Hey,
Third best job in the world, Lainey Wilson, costume designer.
all right. All right. Get Shane off the screen. But
Sniff it.
I don't
Sniff
even know.
that.
I don't even know. Oh, dude, I've got this whole section marked down.
Dude,
I don't even know.
sniff
I
that
have
all
literally
day,
never
bro.
heard of this girl that you were talking about.
Oh, you
Lainey
are
Wilson?
living under a rock.
Bro, she's got like a heart like a truck, bro.
All right, but not important. But what is important?
Oh,
is
it
how-
is
it's
important.
important.
It
No.
is
It's
very
important.
What's
It's
more
important.
important is how
Go ahead and
Vegas.
Google, lady.
What's more important is how Vegas is going to clean up this year.
Yeah.
Because
Clean up that-
does anyone want to guess what would Vegas set the line for the Pittsburgh Steelers at this year?
6.5.
8.5, because Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. So what do you say? Are you betting on him having a losing season for the first
Nope.
time ever? Or is he going
Nope.
to follow?
Give me that. Give me that. Give me that over.
Give me the over. Yeah, give me the over.
I'll take
I'll
I'll-
never bet against this man in my life.
I think I took the over for every single team in the AFC North. All of them.
Well, that's a bold statement.
Hey, I'm not saying that they're all going to win the AFC North. It just depends on how Vegas sets their line.
You can't bet against Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's
It's
move
like
on.
you can't bet against Brady or Belichick. You just don't bet against Mike Tomlin.
Let's move on to the Cleveland
like-
alleged sexual assaulters. Sorry, the Cleveland Browns.
Under.
Alleged sexual assaulters.
Over under 32 women this year.
Hold on. Hey, no, hey, that's not how we do this. My biggest question for the Cleveland Browns.
Will Deshaun Watson rape someone?
Nope. But that is also a big question. Which allegedly raped someone, by the way. Which Deshaun Watson are we going to get?
Settled outside of court.
Which Deshaun Watson are we going to get? Is he going to be back to being a really good quarterback? Or is he going to be
back to the massage parlors?
All right, moving on. I can't mention his name ever again.
What happened? It's not my fault the guy's never met a girl he didn't sexually harass.
Okay, that's allegedly.
Allegedly.
He's not here for a long time. He's just here for a good time, Austin.
Now, I loved doing research on the Cleveland Browns because their biggest positive and their biggest negative is the same thing. Their biggest positive is that they
Watson's record.
Shut up, both of you. Shut up. Their biggest positive is that they have 16 new players to their dog shit program. Their biggest negative, they have 16 new starters on their on like their whole team. Like that's a lot of turnover. So we don't know if they're going to be good or if they're going to be bad. But Vegas. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I feel like Deshaun Watson, like he sat out 11 games last year. He came in, played, and they didn't look that much better, if at all.
No, they did.
But he also hadn't played football in 2 years, right?
Agreed.
He sat a whole year. So
why?
But they're a big old question mark also.
They're a big question mark.
The one thing though is Deshaun Watson had been massaging that pigskin, so he should have known what was going on.
Yeah. So, but Las Vegas has a lot of faith in the Cleveland Browns.
9.5.
They have them winning 9.5 games.
Under.
Is that their over under?
That's their over under.
I'll take the under every day.
I do love me some Myles Garrett, but under.
All right.
Under, yeah.
They did.
It's not going to be good.
Wait, do they have the best odds out of that whole?
No,
conference?
the Bengals are at 11.5. So
Oh, sorry. Besides the Bengals, sorry, I forgot about the Bengals.
No, the Ravens are better than them too. We'll talk about them in a second. They did draft. They drafted and did get a lot of free agents on the defensive side because their defense has been terrible for forever. But the big thing is Vegas is counting on people to bet that Deshaun Watson will be good again, and we don't know.
I was gonna say when you don't play for at this rate it's been 2 years.
Yeah,
it's kind of a crapshoot. What I mean,
Trey Lance.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The 49ers bet.
Yeah, but Deshaun Watson was actually good before Trey Lance.
Deshaun Watson
Trey Lance was just never good and
good
also never played. Trey Lance is the smartest NFL player that's ever existed.
There is a true situation where Deshaun Watson could come back and actually play good because he was very, very good.
He was very good.
He led Houston almost single-handedly to the playoffs.
I think Deshaun Watson's biggest issue is going to be a mind game. I think him overcoming his own issues.
His off-the-field issue is the biggest issue.
Yeah.
I think Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes.
No.
Whoa.
He is. He's just always played on worse teams.
You're just
Deshaun Watson plays the quarterback position better than Patrick Mahomes.
No.
I'm not gonna.
We can talk all about it. He's a better pocket passer.
Arm talent alone is not even there.
Dude, I don't know if you watched Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson can do it all. The problem is his defense is always and his receivers have sucked.
Austin, I get it.
Jonathan.
I get it. You have the Aggie beating syndrome. You have the Kansas City
Jonathan,
beating
wait.
syndrome. Like,
Deshaun Watson has some serious arm talent. He strokes the hell out of some things. But
Well, I think other people are doing the stroking.
Deshaun Watson is an incredibly accurate quarterback,
Like,
just
how's
like
that
Patrick
work?
Mahomes. Deshaun Watson is incredible out of the pocket, just like Patrick Mahomes. He is good. He's big and physical, and he doesn't get sacked very often, just like Patrick Mahomes. I think if you put Deshaun Watson, if you flip their careers and you put
besides the rape,
besides this alleged sexual assault, if you put Mahomes in Houston and Deshaun Watson in Kansas City at the beginning of their careers with Andy Reid and with Tyreek and Kelsey, I think that Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback, which is why he got recruited to Clemson compared to Texas Tech. I think Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback than Mahomes. But I think Mahomes' one thing is that his clutch factor is through the roof.
Yeah, the variables are Patrick Mahomes is so...
Dude, they're so small. They're so small. So much of how NFL players get drafted is where they got drafted to. Think about the crap storm that Deshaun Watson was drafted to. Mahomes was drafted to an 11-5 Kansas City Chiefs with Andy Reid.
I get it, but
Deshaun Watson put up all those numbers with 4 different head coaches. He had a new head coach every year. His best wide receiver was Will Fuller.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Deshaun Watson he's a heck of a football player.
It's been so long since I've seen him play. I don't even have like an educated opinion on him at this point.
Now, for the future, who knows what Deshaun Watson is going to be? But before he got, put on the NFL bad list, I mean, Deshaun Watson was a great player. And if he was put in Josh Allen's situation or any of these other, if he got put where Jalen Hurts got put, I mean, Deshaun Watson is a great quarterback. A great quarterback.
I will agree with you, Austin, if you put him in anyone else's shoes but Patrick Mahomes, because I think it's like saying, comparing to Tom Brady. Like, you can't compare people to Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, I can compare people to Tom Brady immediately. Joe Burrow is Tom Brady 2.0. He's smart. He's accurate. He's cerebral. He's dependent on the team that is put around him.
Yeah, but it's hard from an outside perspective to look at like Patrick Mahomes and say someone can do what he can do. Because the dude is a freaking G. Like,
I agree.
And he deals with his gay brother and his terrible wife, and he does it with class.
You put Patrick Mahomes on the Chicago Bears, they're not going to win the Super Bowl.
No, absolutely not.
However, they're going to win some football games. You put Joe Burrow on the Bears, and they will be the number 1 draft pick.
Yeah. Okay.
Joe Burrow is just like Tom Brady. He is dependent on a good defense and a good team around him. But he plays the quarterback position in the purest way possible, a.k.a. the racist way that it was designed, where a white quarterback sits in the pocket and throws it where it's supposed to go on time.
When is Joe Burrow going to get his contract?
Because that's the racist way it was designed. That's just how the game's supposed to be fucking played, Austin.
You say that, but Patrick Mahomes has proven that you're not supposed to play it that way.
He ain't going to have 6 freaking Super Bowl rings like Tom Brady.
Because,
I would take the over. I would take the over on that.
No, you're wrong.
I'll fight you all day on this.
No, Shane, you're wrong. He's not going to win as many Super Bowls. Do you know that Patrick Mahomes could have the number 1 defense for the next 14 years and will still have less top 10 defenses than Tom Brady has had in his career?
He came armored with facts.
Listen.
Defense wins championships.
Oh my gosh, dude. Tom
Brady won a Super Bowl 17-3. 17
He also came
points.
back from a freaking, what was it, 28-3?
27-3. Put some respect.
27. Oh, I'm
28. No,
sorry.
it's 20 it was
27.
It was.
28-3.
I think it was
It's
28-3.
28-3.
Yeah, it was 28-3. Fucker.
Okay.
That was Matt Ryan's Super Bowl.
One time, dude.
Bro.
You've
Dude.
opened. I gotta do it now.
It's the way the game's supposed to be played. Sit in the pocket, throw the ball.
I
Sit in the
don't
pocket,
agree with
throw the
that.
ball. Sit in the pocket, throw the ball.
That's
Do
I
it
would
the right way.
take Patrick.
That's
Mahomes.
how it was supposed to be played 20 years ago, but not
I
anymore.
would take Patrick Mahomes
It
over
still
any
works.
quarterback you give me.
No, it
It
doesn't.
still work. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Oh my
Name
God.
me. Okay, name me the last time a team won the Super Bowl with a quarterback that just sat in the pocket.
Matt Stafford. Don't say
No,
2 years ago, Tom Brady.
false. Their defense won them that championship game.
No. You didn't say
That's
that.
true.
You
That's
said
true. That's true.
name me a time where the
That the quarterback won them the Super Bowl. Their offense won them the Super Bowl.
Their offense scored the points that won the Super Bowl.
False. Their defense also scored and turnovers.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, Tom Brady.
Take care of the ball, sit in the pocket, throw the ball.
Short fields are a big deal. I don't know. You can't say no.
Sit in the pocket, throw the ball, take care of the ball. Don't turn it over. It's
Tom
not
Brady-
a hard game. It's not a hard
Austin's
concept.
fixing to demolish you on this stat.
Tom Brady has won a Super Bowl scoring 20 points, which is below average in the NFL.
Okay,
17
that's fine.
points.
No, you're right. You're right. The game has changed. Yeah, no, you're completely right. The game has changed to where a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, who can do both, who
Correct.
has arm talent, can do it. But
Correct.
a quarterback like Cam Newton, who got to the Super Bowl and then got his ass embarrassed,
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. You
cannot
can't
do
just,
it because
you can't
the
be
running
Justin Fields
style,
and just be a runner.
you can't
you
just
have to-
run.
But you
can't
cannot.
just run.
You
You
cannot.
have
be
to have somewhat of an ability to sit in a pocket and throw a ball.
correct, but you
No,
cannot be Jared Goff or Kirk Cousins and only be a pocket passer and win a Super Bowl.
Lamar Jackson.
You can be no. Lamar Jackson will never win a Super Bowl. The guy's a
No,
bum.
that's
He's
what
out of the league in 4
Johnny,
years.
Sorry.
I'm on your side here. I'm on your side.
Lamar Jackson could win a
I'm about
Super
to
Bowl.
get me freaking heated,
Hold on.
bro. I'm
Lamar
about to-
Jackson could win a Super Bowl if he had the 2000 Baltimore Ravens defense.
No,
Well, yes.
you still have to score points,
The
guys.
Baltimore Ravens defense, I think, averaged 11 points given up
Still
for the
have to
whole
score
season.
points.
That's my point. I'm
Yeah.
with you. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying Lamar Jackson can score 12 points per game.
In my recent
All
memory,
Lamar
my-
had to do with that defense is get in field goal range, Austin. That's all. he
I'm
had to
actually-
do.
Justin
I'm
Tucker
actually
could win a
willing
Super
to
Bowl
say
with the
this out
2000
loud.
Ravens
Yeah.
defense.
I'm willing to say this out loud. In my lifetime, the only team that won a Super Bowl 100% on the defense is the Denver Broncos. Peyton Manning's last year.
No,
No.
2000s Baltimore
100%.
Ravens. The team that won Joe Flacco a Super Bowl, 100%.
Yeah.
The Ravens defense that won Joe Flacco a Super Bowl.
How many? Oh man, I'll pull it up.
Dude, we're talking about Joe Flacco right now. Joe Flacco was
What-
not the
what year?
difference in that football game.
What year was
I
that?
don't know. Look up whatever year Joe Flacco won the
2000
Super Bowl. I guarantee you it wasn't
2000
because Joe Flacco was so amazing.
2016 or was
Was
it
that
even
the year that
late?
Jacoby Jones returned a kickoff for a touchdown in like the very beginning?
I don't know.
It wasn't 2016. Joe Flacco was 35.
It was 2012.
I was gonna say 2011.
was that
first,
the
but I
game?
thought
Was that the
was
game that
Oh,
played
I'm
the
sorry.
49ers and the
Yeah,
power
you're
went out?
right.
Yeah.
You're right. Joe Flacco had such a bad game that he went freaking 22 of 33 for 287 yards and three first half touchdowns again to win the Super Bowl. You're
No,
right.
That's
Such a terrible game by him.
I
No,
don't-
Peyton Manning had 3 interceptions in the first half of the
Yeah.
game that they won the Super Bowl in. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
You're not wrong. I mean, that game when they played the Panthers in the
Bro,
Super Bowl.
it's not even it's not
Von
even
Miller
argument.
won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, 100%. It's
himself.
not Joe Flacco. That's not even a debatable. Not even debatable.
It is.
no,
it-
but it's
No, it's
So-
not. No, it's not. No,
Jonathan,
100% it's not.
that game,
100% it's not.
that game might not be debatable, but
Bro.
Joe Flacco for that season
Yeah.
Like the Baltimore Ravens defense got
Okay,
them to a Super Bowl.
That's
It's like
all I'm
taking
saying.
it's like taking a
He
QBR
won
and
a
acting
Super
like
Bowl. They won a Super Bowl. Joe Flacco played a good game.
Okay, but that's like saying Brock Purdy and the 49ers
Peyton
would
Manning-
win the Super Bowl last
Peyton
year. And it'd
Manning
be
had
based off
4
Brock Purdy's amazing.
interceptions in the Super Bowl and won the game.
Okay.
And if my memory is somewhat correct, I believe 2 of them were pick 6.
One of them was a strip sack first touchdown, but yes, I believe I'm with you on that.
I think 2 turnovers by Peyton Manning were touchdowns.
Yeah.
That game was atrociously bad.
Yeah.
And Peyton Manning still won the Super Bowl.
he had Von Miller though.
100% on the defense. And it's the only time it's ever happened in our lifetime. Only time. You can't compare that game because Joe Flacco had a good game.
He had an all right game in my.
It wasn't 3 interceptions in the first half. Jeez.
I mean, okay, if that's what our qualification is for a good game, then
Bro,
Baker
Peyton
Mayfield
Manning
has a good game every
literally
week.
sucked. He sucked.
I don't know why. I'm not arguing that Peyton Manning was bad in that game. Why do you keep
Bro,
arguing that?
It's
He
not
was
my
very
fault
bad.
that Denver proved me right that a running quarterback can't take you to the promised land. Congrats. Cam
I am
Newton's not
still
even the
with you.
fucking league.
I do not think that Lamar Jackson can win a Super Bowl without the 2000 Ravens defense.
You know what Cam Newton's doing for paychecks nowadays? Signing autographs to a bunch of high school kids for $20
It works, man.
at camps. And those kids just don't realize that guy's a freaking bum and they shouldn't look up to him.
Sorry, I misspoke earlier. I said that the Patriots won a Super Bowl 17-3. It was 13-3.
Yeah,
My
I
bad.
do remember
That's
that.
even
That was
worse.
like the most
Even
boring
less
Super Bowl ever.
points.
What was that? 2014?
It was Super Bowl 53. Come on, give me the stats.
What year was 53? What year did we just play? I hate when
We
do
just
that.
played Super Bowl
50.
57, as you can tell from this behind me.
I don't know how to read Roman numerals.
It's
Yeah.
57. Tom Brady was 21 of 35 for 262 yards with a pick.
Not great. How
It's
many
not great.
touchdowns?
0.
0
He
touchdowns.
threw 0 touchdown passes.
Very bad.
However, their defense obliterated the Rams, and that's how they won.
I understand what you're saying, but there's no Super Bowl in our lifetime where it was so obvious that the defense won the game as that Cam Newton versus Denver.
What was it when the Patriots beat the Raiders in the Snow Bowl?
That's not the Super Bowl.
No, that was
That wasn't the Super
that
Bowl,
was
that was the AFC
conference
championship.
championship.
I just wanted to rub salt into
Yeah,
it.
and don't freaking bring up the freaking bullshit again. It's the first night I've ever cried about football in my life. Cried myself to sleep that night, Shane. I was at y'all's house when that happened.
I think I'll give you. I think definitely, obviously, the Broncos' domination over the Panthers is one. The Seahawks' first win is the first thing that comes to my brain.
Seahawks versus who?
2013. Shoot, who did they play?
The
Legion of Boom. Like when the Legion of Boom
Yeah,
got
they-
there.
Yeah. But
It
their offense
it wasn't
was-
as good. It was not as good.
I mean, they
it was-
had a decent offense.
It
The
was still.
Saints-
It was still
the
very
Saints-
good.
the Saints beat the Colts by special teams in
I mean, they had Marshawn Lynch, bro.
Hold on, let me look it up. And then we got to get moving because we're gosh dang, we went over 2 hours again. I really didn't think we would
I don't know why you think we're ever going to get under 2
because
hours.
I put so little on our freaking things to talk about.
No,
this
rants are
time.
going to happen.
Yeah, rants are gonna happen.
You pissed me off with this whole quarterback
No,
situation.
we haven't even talked about Lamar yet. I'm excited. Um,
I'm not looking forward.
The Saints versus the Colts. That was a special teams win in the Super Bowl.
What year was that?
2007.
Oh, okay. I remember what it was. It was like when Peyton got old and the Seahawks beat the Broncos 43-8. That's what it was.
Oh, that
Like-
was bad.
It was bad.
Was that the year before he got hurt?
No, that was
He was just old. It was when his arm was dead.
that
Look like
might.
Drew Brees out there.
Oh, whoa!
The little
Dude couldn't
friendly
throw the
fire.
ball 7 yards.
Drew Brees.
All right.
and-
First off, do not compare old Drew Brees and old Peyton Manning because old Drew Brees could still play football.
Oh, he couldn't. Those last couple games.
Dude,
he was
old
As
Peyton
a
was
as a
terrible.
as a first-hand watcher of it, Drew Brees could not play football.
Dude, the ball wouldn't go over 5 yards.
It was terrible. I mean, it almost caused Michael Thomas to freaking retire. That's how bad it was.
Anyway,
So-
we're not on.
Dude, did we not talk? Did I miss the conversation about the blindside situation?
No, we haven't talked about it yet.
Bro,
That's
it's
probably
so
not going to make it
freaking
in this
funny.
week's pod.
Is it
what
going
was
to
the
be
over-under
part
on
of the
Ravens?
Baltimore Ravens?
Yeah,
conversation?
we can talk about it, but I don't know. I'm on team. I know that other podcasts out there on team Michael Orr, but I mean, it's been like 15 years since that movie came out.
Blake, what have I said to our family chat? Why has this not been brought up?
It's been a
15
long
years ago.
time.
Apparently, they tricked him.
No, I think
He thought he was adopted this whole time. He didn't know.
I think he's strapped for cash.
That's
No,
exactly what I said.
He
Austin.
came out with a book. He's trying to sell it. But I did hear today. This was
Yeah.
a little weird to me.
He's
So
doing
they
PR.
tried. Apparently, they tried to adopt him, but he was 18, so they couldn't. They also had to do something because he couldn't go to Ole Miss unless he had like some sort of tie-in with the family. Because
I think they just did conservativeship like they did with Britney Spears.
But why would he be under conservatorship?
Because
He was
I
mentally
mean,
all
Okay,
there.
the
I don't
only
know
issue-
all about it, but
no,
I don't
the
know if
only
you've
issue
seen
I have. The
what
only
his
issue I
parents
have-
were like back in the day. And
But he was
needed-
mentally all there.
the
yeah, but
only
he was
issue-
like 14.
the only issue I have
No, they
is
did it when he was 18. They did it when he was 18.
yeah, they did the conservative ship when he was 18.
Yeah, but
The only issue I
he's a-
have with the whole situation is they made like $20 million off the movie,
they swear they made $0 off the
and they
movie.
only paid the 4 family members, the mom, dad, and the 2 kids.
Also, they
Yeah.
already had they sold their fast food places for like $110 million.
Yeah,
So they weren't
I mean,
exactly hurting for money.
no.
No, 100%. And LJ was on
Barstool.
Barstool Radio today, and he was like, "Hey man, I've loved him since I was 7. I'll love him when I'm 47. I'll love him when I'm 67. Like that's my brother." Like,
Honestly, to me, what it sounds
but
like is
it
a
looks bad.
professional athlete,
Who's no
It-
longer
it-
professional and is strapped
Yes,
for cash looking
and
for something.
he what is it? 60% of football players go broke, and he went broke, and he's looking for cash, and I don't know. Once again, we don't know the real situation. But if it was really that big of an issue, why in God's green creation didn't you say something 15 years ago?
Well,
And
he's saying he didn't know.
Yeah, he's
how do
saying
you
that
not
he-
know? How do you
Because
not
I
know?
mean, he was
No,
a
he's saying
teenager.
he never looked at funds until he got out of the NFL.
I don't give a
And
shit.
I'm sorry,
what
I
fund
blame
you
I'm
looking-
sorry, I blame you for that. If you're not looking at your money when you're making
Yeah,
that much money
yep.
and you don't have a guy doing that, I'm sorry, that's
The
bad.
whole thing is weird. The whole thing
Yeah.
is weird.
It's bad. I guarantee you that I mean, would I be surprised if the super rich white people from Ole Miss were doing something possibly
No.
kind of racist and taking
No,
advantage
I
of a black
wouldn't.
guy? No. But am I also not surprised that an NFL player was really terrible with their money and is now
No, I
trying to find
wouldn't.
out? Like, I don't know which way to look. But what I do know is that all of this hatred that Sandra Bullock is getting on the internet needs to freaking stop. Because Sandra Bullock didn't know, and she is a saint.
Just
she's like-
master class, bro.
She was like,
Master
I
class.
literally just read a script. I didn't know what was going on behind the scenes.
Just I've
that's
never even
funny.
met these people.
It's either way, it's just stupid because it's like
Did she win
No
Best
matter-
Actress for that?
I
Yes, she
think
was.
She won an Oscar.
Yeah, she won an Oscar for that. For that
She
not so
won an
great
Oscar.
Southern accent, but it's fine.
But either way, it's like no matter what side you lean on, it's like both sides are stupid. So it's like just
I've never
Shit
had
came
one of
through.
those before.
A
A
bed?
bedroom?
A bed.
No, a bed.
Big
Never had a-
Mike. Big
To
Mike.
be fair, the movie was
quarterback-
kind of dumb.
The quarterback is your family. You will protect that. That's LJ. You will protect him at all costs.
The
My
movie
mom-
was kind of dumb, guys.
my
Like, if we're
mom
being real.
loves that. My mom loves that movie, and she is probably heartbroken right
Hey,
now.
I love that
Listen.
scene. I love the scene though where he just drives that kid over the
Yeah,
wall.
Oh,
yeah.
It's just great. It's just
Takes
like
him out.
yeah, it's like this. It's the
But-
classic like, hey, we had a D1 athlete against like us, like a
They
small.
did Freeze look
small
like
white
Sandra
kid just-
Bullock-
Listen,
Stop.
I'm just mad because mine didn't work out. I had AD.
Yeah.
He's
All
in
right.
prison, I think. I don't
Moving
know.
on.
He's
All
somewhere
right,
out
here we
there.
go. Blake, what were you saying?
Oh, they made Hugh Freeze look like an absolute buffoon in that movie.
Bro, right?
Nick Saban's at LSU in that movie, right? Like he had to put
Yes,
on an LSU
but
shirt.
bro,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Austin, you do realize the high school coach is Hugh Freeze.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's how he got the job at Ole
That's
Miss.
how he got the job.
No,
at
the
Ole
Hugh
Miss.
Free the high school coach is an actor. I've seen
No,
him in other
No,
things.
No,
that
in-
he's
in
playing.
real
The
life.
actor is playing Hugh Freeze.
Oh,
That's how he got the job at Ole Miss. Hugh
that's
Freeze
hilarious.
only got the job at Ole Miss because of Michael Orr.
I did not know that.
And then he went to Ole Miss, had the whole situation.
I mean,
and he
Hugh
got
Freeze
another
is a
college job.
buffoon anyway, so that's fine.
He is. He is, but
Legitimately,
yeah, I'm sure
every-
this high school coach was taking a call from the mother in the stands.
Brandon Walker was talking about it today, and he was like, "Does anyone else realize that Michael Orr has just been taking advantage from white people his entire life?
I mean, taking advantage.
His
I
family,
mean,
Hugh
we go-
Freeze,
we talk
like
we
all
talk
these
about that,
people.
but like if I don't know that much about it, but if the movie is true, like he had a pretty rough home life and probably
No, but
did
Brett,
not
I
have
think
the
Brandon
most
Walker,
positive of prospects, and like
No,
they
but-
helped.
Brandon Walker, like 5 years ago, was on social media.
He's saying-
like
he's
it's
saying
the
they only took
biggest
him in because
bullshit
he's a-
ever.
like an Ole Miss booster took in a 5-star offensive tackle and said, "Oh yeah, you can live with us." Like, come
Yeah.
on, man.
He was
Okay.
like, "Dude, no."
All of
You're
those
using it for
things,
your own benefit.
but it was so Michael Orr was. I mean, he made multi-million dollars in the NFL.
Oh, he made a shit.
he made
ton.
So-
$40 million.
He was great.
Yes,
He was a good player.
was he definitely exploited by white people? Guaranteed. But also, if you look at it from a financial aspect, if he was not, I don't know, I don't remember. What was their name?
He
I
made
mean, he-
more money
Yeah,
in his
he-
NFL career than that family made in that.
he got generational wealth because of what happened. Which, hey, money does not buy happiness. So there we go. All right, hey, remember when we were talking about the
but it
Baltimore
sure as
Ravens,
hell don't
which
help.
he
Hurt.
did play for? He played for the Baltimore Ravens. So the question for the Baltimore Ravens is,
Here we go.
They have
Lamar
a-
Jackson is the best
No.
quarterback in the NFL.
no, stop that. Stop
Shut
taking
your
over the
mouth.
script. The Ravens as a team have a lot of turnover this year. They have a new offensive coordinator. They got rid of. All right, you ready for this? Get prepared. They got rid of
Their best receiver.
Calais Campbell, Justin Houston, JPP, Marcus Peters.
Still their best defensive lineman.
Yeah, a lot of defensive linemen. They also got rid of Sammy Watkins, not that great. Demarcus Robinson, not that great. Both used to play for the Chiefs, though. Both won Super Bowls for the Kansas City Chiefs as well. They also got rid of Kenyon Drake, Chuck Clark, Josh Oliver, Tristan Colin, Ben Powers, and their offensive coordinator. That's a lot of players gone. However, they got, get excited, Nelson Aguilar,
So
Oh.
they suck.
ooh, OBJ,
They suck.
and then they drafted a bunch of people, and who cares? So that's their biggest question. But their biggest positive is, as of this moment, it is currently August 15th. Lamar Jackson is healthy and happy. He's not going to sit out any games. He has no injuries as of right now.
He'll have a stomach illness by like week 2 that persists until week 16.
For sure.
What's
He's going to
that-
have to go
what's
take a
that-
poop in the middle of the game, but it's fine.
What's that thing they call that the young people get from kissing each other?
Mono?
Gonorrhea.
Nope, mono.
He won't auto. He just always has to throw up or
Yeah.
diarrhea.
He gets nervous, man. What can you say?
He'll get the old magic.
I'd get nervous too if I was the worst quarterback in the NFL.
He's okay. All right, hold on. He's not the worst quarterback in the NFL. He was the only unanimous MVP in NFL history. Mahomes
Hey, he's a great running back. He's a great running back.
Whatever. Still. But I mean, dude, Baker Mayfield is a quarterback in the NFL. Like Kyle Trask, Desmond Ridder. He's not the worst, but he's not the best. I'll give you that.
That's
and I don't understand how
Desmond Bennett was throwing dimes in training camp, bro.
Why?
So-
Is it because he's white? Is that why?
No, hey, shush. Let's just wrap this up because we're already it's 10:40 and I need to go to bed because I got my first day of school tomorrow.
Me too.
The Baltimore Ravens, though, I think are still making a huge mistake. Out of all of the years that we have watched Lamar Jackson, besides his ability to run the football, when is he the best at throwing the football? What kind of person does he need?
He needs a big receiver.
He needs a big receiver. Thank you, Shane, or a big tight end. You know what they don't have? A single tall receiver. They got OBJ. They got freaking Zay Flowers. They got Nelson Aguilar. All they got was guys that can run deep. They have no
Who is
big
it?
target.
receivers, which is what he needs.
Yep.
And I think they're going to struggle.
He needs a big target because
And
he's not that good.
that's fair. And based off of that, they have the second highest over-under in the AFC.
Under
10.5.
Under.
I'm taking the over.
Oh,
Why?
Their schedule's weak.
Dude, I don't care if their schedule's the weakest schedule in the league. They're not good.
I mean, they're good. They're not great, but they're good.
No.
John-
I will stand by the fact that he is going to be out of the league in the next 3 years.
All right, that's fine. Say what you want. Their
Like,
over-under is 10.5. They play
Cam
the
Newton-
AFC South. That's
Bro.
4 wins.
bro, Cam Newton was twice the player Lamar Jackson is, and he's out of the league. So if Lamar still has a contract in 3 years, I will be baffled.
Lamar,
Because that dude is
Cam
a
Newton is
joke.
definitely not twice the
A
player because
joke.
you compare their
A
Heisman votes, and
joke
Lamar
of a
also
player.
got more Heisman votes and
A
is the only
joke.
unanimous MVP. So I would not say that Cam is twice the player.
A joke.
Cam could have been cut from 30 different college football teams from stealing freaking crab legs. So,
Okay. Personal decisions don't matter here when we're talking about football.
all I'm saying
Like I've
is
always said, I don't care about these guys' character off the field. All I care about is what they do on the field.
all I'm saying is
think
when
all
I'm betting
professional
over
athletes
unders,
are
I look
shitheads.
at the schedule and I think the Ravens can win 11 games.
no, they're not going to win 11.
I mean, dude, they play the AFC South. That's 4 wins right there. They play the NFC West, which they will destroy the Cardinals. They will destroy the Rams. I think they will beat the Seahawks. That's 7.
Don't get
Oh,
me
no.
started.
No.
Kyler
I'll
Murray.
take the Rams all day on them.
No.
I'll take the Rams all day.
Did you watch the Rams last year?
No, yeah, I watched a hurt Matthew Stafford play.
Fantastic. We're going to
Oh.
talk about the Rams next week on the
Oh, yeah.
Football is King podcast. When we talk about the
Guarantee you
AFC
Rams
West
whooped
and
the
the
shit
NFC West.
out of the Ravens.
All right. We got to wrap it up.
Wait, Sam Darnold's gonna choke that little piece of shit to
No,
death.
hey, I think that the San Francisco 49ers are going to dog walk the Ravens, but it doesn't matter. I think they beat the Seahawks. I think they beat the Rams. I think they beat the Cardinals.
I could beat the Ravens every game. You give me any team. I
You're wrong.
I
That's
will
fine.
lock down Lamar and he won't do crap.
And then I
Can't
think
throw
they,
the ball past 15 yards. The guy's arm sucks.
Mars in the end zone. And you
I
start
think they
Arm sucks.
I think they can beat the Browns at least once. They also play the Chargers, which are great at choking games late in the season, and they play them late in the year. I think they can get to 11 wins, but it doesn't matter. Let's talk about, we continue this trend from last week. Let's talk about last thing, Madden ratings, and do we agree or do we disagree? This time we are talking about wide receivers, safeties, and defensive tackles. Wide receivers. The number one wide receiver is
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson. Below him is, and they're very close, is Tyreek and Devontae Adams, which I think is very fair.
No, I'll take Devontae over Tyreek.
They're basically they basically have the
Devontae's
same
a
rating, so it's fine.
Devontae is a monster.
So is Tyreek. Tyreek is the number one guy that if you're a defensive coordinator, you're pooping your pants every week that you have to play against him.
If I throw a ball up like a 50-50 ball, I want Devontae going for it, not
Correct. A 50-50 ball, sure. I want Justin Jefferson or Devontae. But you know who you cannot have 50-50 verse is Tyreek Hill. Because if you've only got him one-on-one, you're effed.
Oh, 100%.
All right. Second position, which I have big bones to pick with this one, is the safety position. Does anyone want to guess who the number one safety in the NFL according to Madden is?
I don't even know that I have a guess.
I'll give you a hint. He plays in the AFC West for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Go ahead and say it.
That no one could name his name is my biggest problem with this.
Cromartie.
No, his name is Derwin James, and he is absolute garbage. He sucks. He's bad.
Who's number two?
Number two is hands down, my opinion, the best safety in the NFL, Minka Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Justin Simmons from the Chargers is number three.
So you're telling me that the Chargers have two of the top three?
No. Sorry. Justin Simmons plays for the Broncos. I apologize for me misspeaking.
They'll still piss it away, both.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I mean, Derwin James, he has that class. What's his name? Jonathan Abrams used to play for the Raiders. That everyone used to love him on ESPN because he would hit hard.
He hits hard.
He hits hard, but he cannot cover a person to save his life.
No.
That's Derwin James. Derwin James will come up and hit you in the mouth, but if you put him to cover anyone, he will run right by him. He has zero coverage skills.
Jonathan's issue was he always went for the hit and would miss the big play. Like he would let the big play happen for the hit.
Safeties build a name is just hitting hard.
Today's NFL, you got to be able to cover.
Oh, I mean, and you say that, but according to Madden, the Chargers play the Chiefs twice every season. And the way that they play is they put Derwin James one-on-one on Travis Kelce.
Which is stupid.
How many touchdowns did Travis Kelce score against the Chargers this year? Just against the Chargers.
Well,
6.
Still no one is correct.
7.
It's 7. He scored 4 the first game and 3 the second game against Derwin James one-on-one.
Oh, you know Andy Reid when they play the Chargers going, idiots are gonna.
But Derwin James did body slam Travis Kelce one time, so he deserves to be the highest ranked. Travis Kelce scored 7 touchdowns against one team last year, and he is the highest ranked safety. So stupid. Madden sucks. All right. And finally, defensive tackle. Who is the highest ranked defensive tackle?
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald is not a defensive tackle. He is not ranked on Madden.
What? What is he?
They don't have him as a defensive tackle on Madden. That's how bad Madden is.
Bosa?
Nope. Bosa definitely is an edge rusher.
I don't know.
The best defensive tackle.
He plays for the Chiefs.
Darnold is 100% a tackle.
I agree with you. But according to Madden, Madden has Aaron Donald ranked as a right end, not a defensive tackle.
Oh
So
no,
dumb.
no.
He's a
He
defensive
plays
tackle.
interior.
You are not wrong, but Madden sucks. So if he was ranked, if he was put correctly, Aaron Donald is a 99 and will be the highest ranked. But according to Madden this year, Chris Jones is the highest ranked defensive tackle at 96. The second placed defensive tackle plays for the New York Giants, Dexter Lawrence, which honestly,
What?
dude,
What?
Dexter Lawrence is a
dog,
freaking
bro.
monster. He is a beast.
But
And then
still,
Where's Khalil Mack fall into this nowadays?
Khalil Mack's not a defensive tackle, though. He's an edge rusher. And
Oh, he
also,
is.
Khalil Mack, his past 2 years, he's decreased a ton.
Bro, once he
Oh,
left the Raiders, it fell apart.
I mean, he's also old. He's also old.
He has gotten old.
And then Quinnen Williams was third, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, but still, it's all crap.
And that right there will do us at almost 2.5 hours somehow on the
we done
Football is
good.
King podcast this week. Yeah, it's a good one. We kept it short this time, 2.5 hours. As always, please like, subscribe, give us
Did we even
5-star
cover
reviews.
college football?
We did. You were gone for. I tried to save it for as long as possible, but you were gone for like almost an hour.
No, I was gone for 40 minutes. I looked.
That is almost an hour, and so I tried to save it as best as possible. But also get prepared unless there's any big college football news between now and our next recording.
NFL.
We already covered the college football, so we're gonna cover next week. We will cover the AFC West and the NFC West. And I'm pretty sure we have one more week before NFL starts after that. Maybe not. I don't know.
No, college starts.
College starts 2 weeks from now, right?
Yes.
All right. So
Oh, that's week
hey,
0.
that's
Week
fine.
0 counts, bro.
Week 0 counts. So plan on it. Next week we will possibly talk about AFC West, NFC West, and whatever other thing we didn't talk about.
Shit, we have to.
South, East. We haven't talked about the East yet. So we'll do the East and the West next week, and then we will watch live football on stream.
I'm so pumped
We
up.
will talk about Buffalo versus
No,
North
USC
Dakota
plays.
State.
USC plays.
exactly.
We will talk about
Pac-12 network.
we will talk about regular season football 2 weeks from now. And then after that, we will talk about like legitimate regular season football. So get excited. I'm ending the podcast because I gotta go sleep because I gotta teach in the morning and it's gonna be rough. But thank you for joining us. We will see you next week. Please tune in to all of the shorts and things I will post throughout the week. I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that I will try to make this week. We will see. So, and I will listen to them again. And if there's anything super bad said, I will not post them because a lot of people listen to this. But that'll do us for the Football is King podcast this week. We will see you next time.